Hi, good evening. Welcome to the grand finale of Sun Tzu, Avalon Consulting's National Case Study Competition. We've had a tremendous response for Sun Tzu this year. We had over 2,600 participating teams from 29 leading B schools in India. We had three rounds of processing in which we got in 8 finalist teams from the 4 cases. In the end, today we'll have one winner out of all of these teams. We had India's top B schools participating in the competition. The winner's takeaway today would be around 3 lakh rupees plus PPI offers for the winners. The first runners up will get 1.5 lakhs and PPI offers, and the second runners up will get 50,000 and PPI offers. Before we move on, I would like to invite our CEO, Sridhar, to say a few words.
Thanks, Ayush. And it's wonderful to be back here at this stage. As Ayush mentioned, since the revival of Sinzu, this is the second year that we have hosting this event. And frankly, the participation has completely overwhelmed us. We have seen growth of 40, 50, 60, 70% in terms of teams and submissions and um, uh, students showing interest. All of this has really been extremely overwhelming for all of us at Avalon. It has also stretched all the team members inside Avalon to really burn the midnight oil, not just for consulting projects, but also for mentoring, judging, evaluating the cases that have been submitted. And I can truly say that the kind of effort we put in putting together this competition, by right from packaging some of our existing cases we have worked on, providing mentors to support the teams, each of them spending a fair amount of time with the teams to help them come up to speed with the problem, and being available um, to uh, to support them through this process is pretty much unparalleled based on the feedback that we have received from students as well as colleges in the way this session is conducted. So, truly thankful to the finalists today, but I'm sure a number of the people who participated and could not make it to this stage. Again, a big thank you to all of you, and finally to all the Avalon colleagues who have spent a lot of time helping us reach this stage. A great thank you to all of you all. Um, we also have a esteemed panel of judges, and like always, these are clients that we work with who have been part of the Avalon journey for many years with us. And again, I'm truly grateful to all of them to take this time out and contribute to the development of students who are going through this process and contributing to their learnings. And I'm sure your wisdom will go a long way in helping them become better managers along the way. Thanks, Akanksha. Over to you.
Thank you, Sridhar. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our judges. Firstly, introducing Mr. Satish Mandana, the Senior MD and CIO of Eversource. With over 36 years of experience, Mr. Satish is a pioneer in creating scaled platforms in RE, telecom, hostels, etc. As managing partner and CIO at IDFC Alternatives, Mr. Satish has made 28 investments, deploying USD 1 billion and monetizing 26 investments in full on or partial exits. He's a climate and sustainability focused impact investor, having full fund life cycles experience across venture capital, private equity, and infrastructure equity in India through varied economic and business cycles. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
Introducing the founder and managing partner of Stride Ventures and Stride One, Mr. Ishpreet Gandhi. Ishpreet Gandhi is the founder and managing partner at Stride Ventures. Prior to founding Stride Ventures, he has worked with leading firms like Standard Chartered Bank, Citibank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Yes Bank. He is a seasoned banker on a path to underwrite startups on business model and innovative financing through venture debt platform. His first Stride venture provides comprehensive credit solutions to new age businesses in India. Stride One is a tech led financial services platform for startups. The company focuses on providing smartly designed, customized financial solutions to MSMEs and supply chain partners to startups. A warm welcome to you, sir. Introducing the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer of Saint Gobain, Mr. Anand Sandhanan. Mr. Anand Sandhanan brings over 25 years of experience and expertise as a well seasoned sales, marketing, and business development professional. He has a successful track record of working in diverse sectors like construction and building materials, automotives, durables, and electronics. Mr. Anand's skill sets in marketing management, sales channel management, consumer insight generation, and leading management have been instrumental in shaping his career graph. A warm welcome to you, sir. Now, welcoming the chairman of Avalon Consulting, Mr. Raj Nair. Raj has over 40 years of experience as a doer manager, entrepreneur, advisor, and mentor. This has given him exposure across functional areas, across industries, and across countries. In his current role, Raj serves as chairman, Avalon Consulting, Avalon Global Research, and Germinate Solutions Private Limited. As a strategy consultant, Raj has helped companies across diverse industries in India, USA, Europe, and the Middle East to develop strategies, align strategy to vision, grow in competitive markets, restructure to make companies more customer focused, etc. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
So I'll just introduce the overview of the event. The presentation flow per team would be around 15 minutes with 3 minutes of Q&A time. The flow of the teams would be, as mentioned, where we'll first go with case 1, followed by case 2, 3, and 4. The scoring criteria would be based on analysis and recommendations made, the presentation skills, and of course the Q&A round that happens. Just to introduce the cases, case 1 is Green Grove, which is a company in the waste management business. It is setting up its own RNG plants across the country to recycle agricultural waste and convert it into energy. They want to create the right employment strategy to suit the needs, high disease requirement, and lowest cost or investment for procurement. There is a need to design the procurement strategy. In case 2, which is for Next Gen Solutions is an engineering and technology company focused on software development and integration of technologies like cloud, IoT, AI into the automotive ecosystems. So Next Gen would like to launch an off-board system which is not embedded in the vehicle but hosted on a cloud and may or may not make use of vehicle data to provide solutions to a vehicle stakeholders. Now, those stakeholders can be the driver, the owner, the service center, the mechanic, and so on. There is a need to understand the true potential of this off-board system. In case 3, which is for Phoenix Incorporated, it's a strong B2C brand operating as an aggregator for workshops which service post-warranty cars through a digital app used by car owners. It operates across 30 cities of India and provides the service through 600 workshops. Currently, the business is EBITDA negative. There is a need to become profitable within a year and subsequently scale the business by 5 to 7x in 3 to 4 years. So how can this be done? In the fourth case, which is for Prime Corp, which is the leading manufacturer of PVC resins, they would like to forward integrate into the CPVC and UPVC pipes and fittings with in-house compounding. So what should be their market entry strategy? These were the 4 cases. I'd like to now invite the first team, which is a team from IIM Lucknow, to present their case.
Sir, just clarity, we are from I am Indore, Team Dahi Shakkar. Uh, so the mention was regarding Team A, if you can clarify.
Yes, please go on. Team
Sure.
Daisha.
Is the screen share coming through?
Not yet. Yep. Yes.
Okay, great. Good evening, panel members. Today, we, Team Dahi Shakkar, are going to present our analysis on the case study Green Grow. So we'll start with the context for the case. Green Grow operates in the waste management business and has 6 RNG plants in Haryana, 11 more in pipeline. These plants use paddy straw as raw material to generate energy. The viability of these plants depends upon Green Grow's ability to source quality paddy straw in a timely manner. Next, the challenges that Green Grow currently faces are number one, small procurement window of 15 to 20 days to acquire paddy straw from the fields, because post this time frame, the farmers usually proceed to clear out the field for the next sowing season. Number two challenge, maintaining the gross calorific value of straw, which determines the energy production potential of RNG plants. Number three, market prices for straw, which are subject to high market fluctuations with off-season prices going up by 2 times. The objective here is to create an optimal procurement strategy for green growth. So we undertook the following steps to fulfill the same. We understood the value chain and identified the gaps to be filled for the key processes involved in sourcing the straw. We undertook a market study, posed in front of us 4 sourcing alternatives, and we evaluated these alternatives based on the synergies, risk, and cost for the same. We understood district specific characteristics to devise tailor made strategies for them, and based on these, we then proposed the optimal procurement strategy. Now, coming to the value chain, we will first try to understand the complete value chain to identify the key areas and complexities. The process starts with crop sowing during the month of June July. After 3 4 months, crops are harvested. Post crop harvest, only 15 to 20 days are available for acquiring the paddy straw. The paddy straw collected is then transported to collection centers where they are temporarily stored. Paddy straw is then transported to a central warehouse whereby it is routed to the plants year long as per need basis. So for green grow to effectively source straw, the following 3 phases are the key. Number one, the planning stage. Number two, collection stage. And number three, storage stage. It is important for us to look at the complexities associated with each stage. At planning stage, there is disparate and suboptimal farming techniques that impact straw quality. There is also low farmer awareness about the demand for paddy straw and low motivation to not burn the straw. There exists disparity in the location of the farms as per the collection center. At collection stage, there is a narrow collection window as already mentioned. There is lack of farmer-owned machinery required for straw collection due to perceived high investment. At storage stage, there is absence of designated storage locations in ideal proximity to both the plants as well as the collection center. And there's degradation of paddy straw during storage stage as well, if not appropriate facilities are provided.
Based on these current gaps, we formulated the hypothesis to highlight primary focus areas at each step of the supply chain. So at planning stage, we need farmer buy-in, ensuring farmer motivation to not burn the paddy straw. Second is to improve the GCV quality of straw by quality farming techniques. At collection stage, the ability to acquire sufficient paddy straw to meet the yearly demands of all the plants of green grow. Second, effectively manage straw price fluctuations. Third one, to ensure quick collection of straw from the fields within 15-20 days. Third one being ensuring that the moisture content of the straw is less than 15%. And fifth is to minimize the cost per ton. At storage and transportation, we need to focus on first, the warehouse location should be in ideal proximity to both the farms and the plants. Second one being to equip the warehouse with quality maintenance facilities.
Upon analyzing the industry, there are 4 sources of procurement prevalent in paddy straw collection. The number one is direct procurement is one of the where all the processes are performed by Greengrow itself. Number two, Farmer Produce Organization is one where FPO acquires straw and deliver it to green growth collection centers. Number three is organized aggregators, and the last is independent aggregators. To evaluate each one, the steps undertaken are: number one, hypothesis validation for each sourcing alternative. Number two, understood the synergies and risks associated with each sourcing alternative. Decision matrix for comparative analysis of different sources. And least, proposing the optimal sourcing option based on district specific consideration. So we go to the number one sourcing option, that is direct procurement. Direct procurement strategy involves a field scheme, machinery investment, and farmer engagement. Most farmers find it cost saving, while 20 to 30% may charge an extra 1 rupee per kg with no additional partner margin.
Sure. Okay.
In this method, the potential synergies can be realized through educational investment and relationship building activities among farmers, which enable us to ensure farmer buy-in and assurance of quality inputs, resulting in quality straw and ownership of value chain end to end. Also, through self-deployed machinery and designated village-level entrepreneurs, procurement can be done effectively within the small collection window. This sourcing is subject to risks such as external factors such as seasonal variations and deviation of farmer interest post-harvest. Lastly, it also entails reliance on upfront capital infusion across labor, training, and machinery. Spanning the key stages, the landed cost of straw per ton turns out to be rupees 1,400. Overall, direct procurement validates the hypothesis for most of the criteria by ensuring quality control by monitoring seed quality and farming techniques. Sourcing option number two: procuring paddy straw from FPOs entails a contractual partnership that specifies the landed cost and volume requirements. During the harvest season, FPOs collect and deliver the straw to the plant collection center using their machinery if available. It allows GreenGrow to educate on environmental benefits to large farmer groups and overseeing abilities through not extensive control over the farming methods, thereby have some deterministic power to control straw quality. It eliminates the requirement of upfront capital investment as large FPOs possess the necessary machinery that ensures timely procurement. Price stabilization is also possible due to a high number of participating farmers. However, FPOs may be at a risk of failure due to internal conflict issues, and smaller FPOs often might not have required machinery and expertise for efficient straw collection. Spanning key processes, the landed price per ton through FPOs is Rs 2,250. And Green Grow contracts with aggregators, specifying quantity and price. Aggregators procure paddy straw at the agreed terms and supply it to Green Grow's collection centers. When working with aggregators, Green Grow benefits from reduced oversight efforts and lower contract reach. Farmer interaction and education become less demanding, and vast network of aggregators generally ensures that quantities are supplied as stated in the contract. GreenGrow has limited control over farmer behavior, the quality of straw, and farming techniques, leading to inconsistent GCV values. This sourcing also renders GreenGrow to make spot market purchases at double the cost during off-season. Additionally, there is a risk of not meeting volume requirements if the sourcing is done through independent aggregators that often have to do not possess well diversified farmer network.
After analyzing all the models based on the hypothesis criteria, we needed some additional factors so that we could inculcate it in our supply chain. These additional factors that we considered were risk coverage, the scalability of supply chain, and operational control, which are critical for implementation of procurement system. So upon analyzing all the hypothesis criteria and the additional criteria, we gave a weighted score to all the four procurement method, and based on that, FPO scored the highest, followed by direct procurement, and then the aggregators. After that, we realized that we can't just analyze all the models in isolation. So these sourcing alternatives need to be analyzed in accordance with district where to implement them. Therefore, we looked at 4 districts with 3 criteria in mind. So these 4 districts are currently operational for Green Grow. The number of agriculture FPOs prevalent, area burnt as a percentage of total area under cultivation, and the paddy straw reused as a percentage of total straw. So this leads us to decide on direct procurement should be used in Kurukshetra and Karnal as paddy reused is lowest and the area burnt is the highest along with few FPOs present there. This signals that an untapped market opportunity could be tapped through direct procurement. Second thing, For Hisar and Jain, we are using a mix of FPO and direct procurement, since these districts exhibit higher percentage reusage of straw and lower area burned as a percentage of total, suggesting a strong presence of competitors. Alongside direct procurement, FPOs would significantly help to cut through the market and establish our presence in these districts. Now we will look at the proposed procurement strategy at each of the three key levels: planning, collection, and storage. At stage at stage 1 planning for direct procurement at Kurukshetra and Karnal, first establish village level entrepreneurs who would be the point of contact with farmers and help to maintain relation with the farmers and will be our on ground personnel. Second, form a support team for oversight and handling village level entrepreneurs. And third, behavioral change initiatives jointly with NGOs to raise farmer awareness. The aim is to ensure efficient farming practices and increase the farmer buy-in. For a mix of FPO and direct procurement at Hisar engine, the objective is of having a mix is to leverage the existing presence of FPO that possess requisite machinery and straw to break into the market. Building connections with FPO will help to gain buy-in from farmers and also help us to understand the language of farmers. For small FPOs and farmers which are not yet integrated into an FPO, we aim to provide requisite machinery and training. Such a move is to not hamper the operation of existing functional FPOs engaged in straw selling or eat their share. Rather, we utilize their experience to harness our farmers into similar cooperatives. So, in the collection phase of the proposed strategy, we evaluated the machinery for direct procurement, which includes cutters, tedders, rakers, balers, tractors, bale loading, trolleys, and quality measures. Additionally, we factored in the annual operating cost, resulting in a cost of 1400 per ton for direct procurement. And for a mix of FPO and direct procurement, the range stays between 1400 to 2250.
So coming to the stage number 3, that is storage, we know that the ideal distance for transporting the straw from field to storage area is 50 kilometers, beyond which, if traversed, results in quality deterioration of straw. Hence, we conducted geospatial mapping to outline the adjoining periphery of 50-kilometer radius around each of the 6 plant locations. Based on the cluster overlaps, we have identified ideal locations given by a star on the slide, as you can see, wherein it is optimum to construct 2 central warehouses to meet the plant-wise needs. Additionally, given the fact that farm locations are spread diversely, there could be 2 kinds of farm locations. One, which are on the 50-kilometer radius from the storage location, and B, which are located beyond the 50-kilometer radius. So we hence propose 2 procurement models. First, the direct to storage, as the name suggests. The straw from these peripheral farms will be directly transported to the central warehouse. Second, the hub and spoke model. So for the farms that are located beyond 50-kilometer radius, the straw will be brought to the temporary collection centers throughout the 15 to 20-day collection window. At the end of season, these will be collectively transported to the central warehouse location. The objective is to minimize the number of round trips from the farm to central warehouse and thus eventually reduce the transport cost. Now, coming to the last crucial aspect that was posed in the third prompt was to manage the competitive challenge that a recent e-commerce giant has posed in front of us. So it has been established within the same catchment area as Green Row and can potentially aid into the share of Green Row as well. So in our rigorous market analysis, we have uncovered a fascinating dynamic despite the government's financial incentives and subsidized farm machinery for straw management, which is strikingly similar to what our competitors are offering. Farmers have expressed concern around perceived operational difficulties, technological know-how barriers, and a general lack of awareness about the available incentives. So this is why we believe in sparking a shift in farmer behavior. So while some of our offerings are same as competitors, some key points of differentiation that will help us effectively address the risk and remain competitively ahead of the curve are: number one, we are not just supporting the farmers, we are empowering them. So we will be appointing village level entrepreneurs to take operational accountability and foster a sense of rural entrepreneurship. Number two, we do not just want to provide the farmers with necessary machinery and expertise, but rather we want to enable them take charge of incorporating effective farming techniques. The vision here is to enable them invest in their farms and secure their future And we shall do this through NGOs and collaboration with social organizations. Number three, often what happens in a traditional commercial setup is that there are multiple entities with which farmer needs to interact throughout the process of selling the straw. However, we have established designated points of contacts, village level entrepreneurs in short, someone they are familiar with of their own village for seamless, transparent, and swift transactions. So while the e-commerce giant may be entering into our territory, we believe that our value proposition for farmers shall effectively help us tackle the risks.
Thank you,
That
everyone.
is all from our end. Thank you.
Over to the judges for the Q&A.
Ishpreet, go ahead.
Ishpreet, you are not audible.
Meanwhile, if Raj, you would like to ask a question.
Yeah, I have a question. It's about, first of all, the presentation was very nice. Congratulations. In many places, there's severe competition for straw. In such cases, what do you expect you can do to get stable procurement? And another way of putting it is, there are many new startups coming up which are trying to use straw, not just as fuel, but as reinforcement material inside their concrete or fly ash bricks or to make straw boards. So they're prepared to pay a little extra price than for energy. So how will you compete with them?
Thank you for your question, sir. So one key aspect, as you mentioned, that a higher price per ton would definitely sway away the farmers towards our competitors. That's a very crucial mention that you've done. However, what is something that we have understood from our analysis is that I mean, of course, there is one thing about the price, but there's another thing that if you are looking at the straw market, there's a huge part of it that is still untapped. So that is the market that we are looking at that is yet to be tapped. And that is why our efforts are focused towards motivating those kinds of farmers, the small and medium ones. In order to
Okay.
motivate them, we'll also be collaborating with the social organizations that are well known in those particular districts. So by
Okay.
collaborating with such organizations, we aim to secure a goodwill and a name amongst them and use their name and their presence to collaborate with them and then leverage that particular thing for our firm.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, can I go ahead? Seems Ishpreet still seems to be on a mute.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think good presentation, first of all. Did you guys actually went on the ground to check out the ground realities while making this project?
So, for the key statistics that we mentioned in regards to the FPO count, the amount of straw that is being used and reused, and the amount that is being actually burned, there were certain government websites that listed out the same. Some secondary research has also been done by the CEEW initiative. So, we refer to that as well. And for the geospatial mapping, we directly went to the Google Maps and try making out the 50-kilometer radius, and by locating the farm locations that was mentioned in the case file.
So you mean to say that you did a primary survey? You did actually got in touch with the VLDs and the farmers, or you didn't?
No, sir. No direct touch with the farmers.
Understood. Okay. Second thing is that while you mentioned RNG, but you've been talking about the gross calorific value. So is there any correlation between the biopotency and the GCV? So I was a little confused around why are you referring to the GCV as a contributing factor for the RNG plants, because RNG is a renewable natural gas which is dependent upon the biopotency of the raw material, and GCV is a major used to derive energy while burning it into a boiler.
Sure, sir. Thank you for the question, sir. Sir, we were explained that they require the energy produced is measured in GCV, so the quantity is measured in GCV. However, that value is derived from the quality of paddy straw. So, better the paddy straw, less the moisture content would give us more energy when it goes to the R&D plant. So, it was a prompt provided, and we
Yeah.
use that as a base
Okay,
to.
now, okay, I got you. But I just want to make sure that, yeah, but there's no correlation between the GCV and the biopotency of a particular material, at least in the proven literature as such. Okay, and the last bit is that you have recommended a blend, obviously giving a lot of preference to the FPO. Uh, what really the FPO will provide as a service to the farmer?
Sir, we missed your voice. If you could please repeat the question.
The question is that as an FPO, how the farmers are going to get benefited from this FPO, which are creating for the procurement of the paddy straw. How the farmers are going to get benefited from that FPO?
Sir, when dealing with FPOs, there is a direct contract with them. So it's an yearly contract where the rate is specified at which paddy is procured. So it works as an income generation source for them. And second, through the behavioral initiatives that we plan. So first, they get the income benefit, and second is to get them aware about the mental benefits and how not burning the field would help them better prepare for the next sowing season. So these were the two propositions.
Okay, thanks.
One more thing.
Just as a matter of feedback, yeah, go ahead.
So what I was saying is that also as per the data that was shared with us,
Please
there
go
were
ahead.
there were some FPOs that were well equipped with the process of straw collection and straw selling. So these FPOs kind of have an insight into how the actual process works. They kind of know the language of farmers. They have built a network with the farmers and individual farmers that are present. So we can use that kind of knowledge to tap into the farmers which are yet not incorporated under this entire straw selling process. So that's also there.
Okay, thanks. No questions from my side.
Can you hear me?
Thank
You speak here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Apologies for the network issue. First of all, very interesting name, Team Dahi Shakar, and presented. I actually was curious. I think I heard somewhere, if I'm correct, that you're not able to visit the farmers somehow, but you did the FPO coverage, right? You visited them. Can I know the numbers which you covered, which locations you covered, etc.?
Yes, sir. So there were six districts where the plants were present, and on the website of Haryana government, we got the exact agriculture and horticulture FPOs which are present there. So we quoted the numbers from their website, which we have shared in the references as well.
But you've not visited FPOs either, right?
No, sir.
No, we were not able.
You'd not visit FPO or leave the farm. Got it. I think it's important when you do these kind of case study. I don't know how much time it takes from your place to visit, but it's good to do that because this is a seasonal requirement. Seasonal farmers will get deployed at a specific point of time and period of time. It's important to understand their motivation level when you start involving them. and how do you enable larger income, because farmers gets excited about the income thresholds. How do you analyze that is very important in this, which I didn't see getting covered in the presentation which I had seen till now. While you covered the strategy well, I think the motivation has to be related in order to get it done, because these are the people who have to execute it.
Definitely, sir. Thank you for your feedback, sir.
All right.
Good evening to all. Firstly, hearty congratulations for an excellent presentation. It really covered the topic in a comprehensive manner. I just have an observation, not necessarily a question, because I think all the pertinent questions have already been asked. I think in a project of this nature where there are multiple stakeholders, the give and take for each of the stakeholder has to be properly matched and validated. Because without that, it really doesn't take off. Because there are a lot of assumptions that's made in a case of this nature. So it's very important to actually ensure that there is a give and take properly mapped by each of the stakeholders so that the entire ecosystem benefits.
Definitely, sir. Makes
I think
sense.
it largely hinges on a stable procurement of the straw itself, which could face a huge amount of external risk, which I don't think is really mapped. So what's the risk to this entire operation working on a continuous basis is not mapped again. So theoretically, while it seems to be, with a good intention in terms of making it happen, I think a lot of operational contingency issues that may crop up is also is not mapped up. Is not mapped in the presentation.
Sure, so that is very valid.
So you always need to have a
I
risk
think
mitigation plan for these kind of projects.
Right, right.
Thanks, Anand. And I think I'll also give an input that look, when you are doing an assignment of this nature, you need to look at a holistic view. You should know that rice straw, for whatever purposes, be it an RNG or be it a power production, how many kilos of rice straw creates 1 unit of output. And if there's a price variation of a certain nature, which happens at the input level, how does it impact the output level price variation? If that equation is clear to you, then you know under what limitations you're going to work where it become unviable to buy the product because you can't sustain it going forward. So a holistic picture, knowing around whatever input you are looking at from a supply chain perspective, what's role and importance in the output is the first step to be understood, so that then you can think around how important it is and how does it relate to the quantity and the quality as well as the pricing.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for the feedback, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
And there's nothing getting away from the ground realities. Let me share the ground realities with you. In the state of Punjab, most farmers don't get paid for cleaning up their fields. So the farmer doesn't get a penny. He gets advantage in kind, where his fields get cleared up by a ripper, raker, and a baler in time. Uh, and that's the ground reality. So if you start paying the farmer, then the cost increases and the viability of the end product suffers. And it's a very narrow viability, by the way, in that segment. Yep. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all. A very good attempt, though.
Thank you so much, Team Dahi Shakkar. I would like to now invite
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
the A team from IIM Lucknow to present their case. They'll be presenting the same case for case 1 for Green Group. Yes, please go on full screen mode. Thank you.
Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are.
Hello.
Please start.
Yes, you are.
So, hello, esteemed judges. We are a team from I am Lucknow. We are going to present case one: strategic and efficient procurement of paddy straw for power generation requirement of Green Grow, a power generation company using biomass, which is paddy straw. As per our issue tree analysis in existing paddy straw procurement process, we identified the key issues faced by the green grow and farmers. Some of the major issues are high cost of baling and raking operations to the farmers, high leasing cost of crop residue management equipment, unawareness of government subsidies available for buying this CRM equipment, low financial benefits to farmers, and short time frame available between two sowing cycles. Also, lack of transportation arrangements. Currently, there are four major procurement plans, such as independent aggregator model, organized aggregator model, farmers produce procuring through farmers produce organizations, and direct procurement model. In independent aggregator, uh, aggregators own the machines who collect straws from field of farmers directly. In organized aggregator model, large-scale organized aggregators source straws from farmers and independent aggregators at a very large scale. Similarly, in farmers produce organizations, which are 600 to 700 member farmer cooperative societies, which source paddy straws from individual farmers and share the benefits. In direct procurement model, company directly procures from farmers with leased or owned baling equipments and own manpower. Next slide. Each model was evaluated using the scoring method, in which key performance indicators were identified, converted into question, assigned certain points, and finally evaluated on the basis of weightage given to each KPI. KPIs identified for these frameworks are process sustainability, quality of stock procured, risk of unmet demand, legal recourse availability, cost involved in procurement process. The weightages for each KPIs are for sustainability 20%, quality 20%, total cost 40%, risk of unmet demand, which is up to 10 to 20%. That's why we have kept it 10%, and legal recourse complexity 10%. Next slide. Now, to understand the attractiveness of paddy straw procurement, we will assess the current landscape for the state of Haryana. Currently, 13 lakhs hectare of land is under paddy cultivation, and which will lead to 35 lakh metric tons of paddy straw generated, out of which 13.5 lakh is target utilization planned by government of Haryana. The recent policies of state and central government has given incentives and made financial commitments to make the procurement process attractive, such as state government of Haryana has identified a common determined price of 2,500 rupees per metric ton, and also an additional 500 rupees for moisture content below 20% for managing fluctuation in harvesting cycles. State of Haryana is also providing financial support to farmers of rupees around 1,000 rupees per acre for in situ and ex situ techniques. Government of India has also allocated a rupees 300 crore crop residue system management fund. Given the current scenario, growth drivers and suitable government policies suggest paddy procurement is a growing and reliable option for green grow, with certain challenges like increased moisture content due to the storing inconsistencies. Moving to the next slide. Now we have assessed the landscape. We will focus on each district's ability to provide the paddy straw to their respective power plants, and we have categorized power plant in two major clusters. Plant 1, 2, 3, 4 are categorized into cluster 1 due to their proximity to each other and having a 106-kilometer connected length in between. Plant 5 and 6 are identified as a cluster 2, uh, which are located in districts of Kurukshetra and Karnal. The idea behind this classification is each district has a varied capacity to provide paddy straw. We have identified that requirement of paddy straw yearly for plant 1 is around 54 kilo metric tons, which is after considering of 20% of total paddy straw wastage due to storing inconsistencies. And just for plant 4, we will be having a 13.164 kilometric tons of total paddy straw requirement. Given this scenario, Hisar and Jind has a total paddy straw deficit, and Kurukshetra and Karnal has a total surplus of paddy straw. That's why Kurukshetra and Karnal are identified as the low risk districts, and Hisar and Jind have been identified as high risk districts. Moving to the next slide. As per our analysis, direct procurement is the best possible method with an average score of 4.6 for procuring paddy straw. It excels in parameters such as the total cost to the company and to the farmers, and straw quality and sustainability. Uh, the challenges in direct procurement models are high capital investment, difficulty in legal recourse, high manpower requirement, and investment in farmer relationships. The calculation behind all the KPIs and their market research will be explained by Siddesh.
Thank you, Naeem, for providing an opportunity. First of all, if we look at the calculations, then what we can look into is the, the indirect procurement. Mainly in the we are considering the five factors. First, the rent cost of ladders, which we have considered around 50 lakh rupees. The what the cost we have got in the from the online net and the reports. Second, the interest cost and the platters, the transportation cost, and around the payment which will make to the farm owners, which is around 20 to 30% of the farmers will pay roughly around 1 rupees per kg. Fourthly, the salary of the managing the employees, which are the permanent employees which you want to keep, and the fifth one is the employees which will keep on the temporary basis during the main procurement period of the our procurement. Thank you.
Hi team, is your presentation complete?
No, so moving to the next slide. Now, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please continue.
Yep. As we have come up with direct procurement model, needs a strong implementation plan, and to achieve these objectives, we have come up with a cluster-wise implementation plan for each plant. We will have plant-specific dedicated team, a strong action plan, and a target farmer base for each power plant. We will also provide one baling machine per 15 to 20 farmers owned by Green Grow. Plant dedicated team will consist of contract employees. In cluster 1, there will be around 16 to 17 employees. In cluster 2, there will be around 30 to 40 employees. The major jobs to be done by plant dedicated team, of which contract employees, is community management and conflict resolution, farmers relationship management, transportation and CRM equipment management. This team will also consist of 6 to 8 permanent employees, to which contract employees will report. Their major jobs would be supply chain management, legal management, financial and billing management, and promotions. Allocation of baling machines, which will be done on the basis of a market research, that which groups of farmers need a extended baling machine to the tractor itself, and which set of farmers need an independent baling machine based on their scale of production. The cost involved in this direct procurement model, those are: the fuel cost of operating the baling machine will be borne by the operator. Operators will be compensated for the amount of paddy straw provided. 20 to 30% of farmer will be compensated at 1 rupees per kg. Moving to the next slide. To implement this direct procurement model, we have come up with an action plan. The first step would be internal capacity building, where we will be doing hiring of contract basis and permanent basis employees, and identifying strategic locations and identifying logistic teams. Second step would be taking a buy-in with government bodies to share the cost of direct procurement, as we already know that government is also spending rupees 1,000 per metric ton of paddy straw for in situ and ex situ techniques. Third step would be promotional campaigns and registering of suppliers in clusters. Fourth step would be identification of cluster-wise target farmers and demand for balers. Based on this identification, we will start the onboarding of the farmers and the verification process, and also their willingness to provide the paddy straw at free of cost, as we are also helping them to remove paddy straw in a quick turnaround time and reducing their labor cost as well. Sixth step would be onboarding of transporters and logistics team. We are planning to implement a digital monitoring and visualization tool to monitor end-to-end supply chain process of this entire process. Eighth step would be optimizing the delivery process to quick turnaround and managing and estimating all the potential delays that would be happening in the direct procurement model. Ninth step would be the evaluation of stakeholders involved in all the process, and last step would be sustainment of the process and improvement basis on the evaluation and the stakeholders involved in the process. Next slide. So this slide explains the timeline of each key milestones involved in the direct procurement model. And we are estimating that by next year, the reliance on independent aggregators would be reduced, and we will be procuring our paddy straw requirement from direct procurement model from the next harvesting cycle, which is October to December 2024. Next slide.
Thank you, Naeem. Now, once you have evaluated competition from the e-commerce, which competition from the e-commerce companies, which will possess through a great growth, green growth can be arising. Mainly, it can be from the e-commerce player also, and any other competition which can be arise. The three parameters which we will look the competition are mainly affordability, availability, and loyalty. In case if any of the e-commerce player arises in our Win City to procure the straw, what the impact it will create on us. The first, very important, first it will try to decrease the margin which we are paying, which we are earning on the straw. Secondly, it will increase the poaching of the employees. Thirdly, it will increase the competition for obtaining the straw. Fourthly, the farmers can use our for supplying the straw to the competitor. And fifthly, the competitor will be trying to pay more and more per kg of the straw and decrease and impact us. How we will overtake this problem is very much important so that we can obtain a sustainable competitive advantage over all the competitors. The first and most important thing is owning a supply chain. We'll own the supply chain, we'll own the balers, we'll own the tractors, we'll have long-term contracts with all the transportation companies, so that for anybody to enter the market, it becomes a very hard, strong barriers to enter that market. Secondly, we'll also have a competitive advantage because of the first moving of the owning the supply chain. Secondly, we'll be focusing on the community building activities like providing the learning solutions, helping the farmers to grow small businesses, providing them vocational courses, upskilling the farmers, making them more and more knowledgeable. These are a few of the areas which we will work so that they feel us as a part of their community. The third, we'll help them with the financial solutions. Mainly in the financial solutions, what we'll do is first we'll have third-party tie-ups with the banking, insurance companies, NBFCs, so that they can provide the easy finance to the farmers at very cheap rate. Secondly, we'll also do the crop planning for the farmers so that we can predict that what is the price of next year in the market for the crop and help them to get the maximum earnings from the crops. The fourth is the profit sharing plan to retain the farmers and employees. We'll have target based for both employees and farmers. By beating each and every target on the basis of quantity supplied, we will pay them the profits. Thank you, team.
With this, we are end of our presentations, and we are open for any questions.
Thank you, team. So the floor is now open for questions. First up, I'd like to request Satish.
I'll go last.
Yeah.
Hereafter.
Thanks for the good presentation, the team. My question would be, do you have a clarity that the procurement model which you have suggested, can it lead to sustainable pricing over the years? What kind of a price vulnerability do you see in your current model?
I think we lost your voice in between. Can you please repeat the question?
There's an echoes. May I request others to be on mute so that probably the echo can be avoided? The question was, in the given procurement model, how are you mitigating the price volatility risk over the years? How do you control the pricing of procurement?
So actually, as we assess the direct procurement model, like there are currently there is one company called Verbio, and they are actually using a direct procurement model. So they actually don't control the pricing. While sourcing the paddy straw, only 20 to 30% farmers are actually want something from the return of their paddy straw, which is at 1 rupees per kg, because we are providing them a quick turnaround solution, and we also providing them we are also like reducing their labor cost. So that's why if you see from cost benefit analysis at the
Put yourself on Siddiq.
while sourcing the paddy straw, only 20 to 30% farmers are actually want something from the return of their paddy straw, which is at 1 rupees per kg, because we are in them we are also like reducing their labor cost. So that's why I guess my voice was started repeating itself because due to some internet issues. So actually, in direct procurement model, there is no necessity to control the prices, as we are not paying to the farmers. We are just paying to the operators of the baling machine. So the risk of price volatility is mitigated in this model.
All right. We have time for one more question from the panel.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, sir, I guess.
Yeah, I can. Can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, Ishpreet. I heard the answer.
Yeah, no, good presentation. A team, especially from you. I presume your other colleague was making all the noises, so moment he logged off, we are better in terms of hearing. But I like the last slide especially. I think you covered 10 steps for the direct procurement model, what you want to solve for, and how you do the community building and the supply chain element, right?
Yes.
What made you analyze those 10 points, which you where you finish your last slide? That these are the elements which you want to take care of, from supply chain to community building to financing
Yes.
to
So
making sure that crop insurance, everything is where it came from. How did you analyze that slide?
So actually, in the current landscape, there are various competitors which are also looking to source this paddy straw on farmers. To remain competitive in this procurement process, we need to provide certain leverage points to the farmers so that they can stick up to us and they can have a long-term relationship with Green Grow. For that, we need to provide some attractive plans to the farmers. That's why we just research like how many companies in this domain are providing what kind of offerings to the farmers, and these offerings are from various power generating companies and some thermal power generation companies as well, and we just collated those offerings and put it in this slide.
That didn't mean that you had some sense about these offerings from the FPOs or farmers.
So actually, the thing is, as you mentioned, the FPOs, most of the FPOs fail because there are some internal politics, and when you have 700 to 800 farmers involved in a FPOs, there are some internal clashes involved always. Like if you see in these 4 districts, there are only 2 to 3 FPOs which are in working stage right now, and rest of the FPOs got uh, uh, disbanded because of their internal clashes and high operating costs and some political issues. So this is because of the lack of community there. If we are providing a community solution like what microfinance companies provide, like providing some loans for low earning families, low earning households, creating self-help groups, so we can actually build a strong community and we can rely on them to provide us the paddy straw required for the further power generation cycles. So that was the thought process behind this solution.
Good. Thanks.
Thank you so much, team, for your presentation.
I just have one particular question to ask, if
Yes,
there's
please.
time. Yeah, if you could just go to the slide where you had given the different options and the challenges that are mentioned in that.
Sure.
Actually, you people have really analyzed the case thoroughly in a very comprehensive and holistic manner, and a lot of perspective have also been covered. But what I would want you people to keep in mind is the fact, while direct procurement always appears attractive, it's a very resource intensive and an execution intensive kind of a model. One cannot underestimate that particular part, because it's a very, very high aggregator model, wherein when it comes to execution, even at an FPO level, which is more of a lesser aggregated model, actually, you have so many issues. When it comes to direct procurement, doing the community building and all is easy to say, but very, very difficult to execute. So from you looked at 5 parameters in terms of KPIs. I think it's also important to see from a resource intensity and an execution intensity point of view, and then assess it together, because that's where actually the real success of the model lies.
Sure. Thank you for your questions.
While all of the parameters have actually been covered extensively.
Thank you for asking the question. Mainly when we have tried to validate the model, we have looked on the ITC each open model also. Why that model got successful? It was a very much replication which they have tried to procure the WIT in the MP, the direct procurement way, when everybody was doing the aggregator method. Definitely for the costing and everything, so
We lost you once again. I don't know if you're
we have attached in Excel that what will the interest cost. We totally understand that the direct period of when it procures in case of quality also, and in case of procurement also.
No, the each-opal model has actually taken quite an amount of time to mature, and each-opal also has an aggregator. It is not completely direct procurement.
But mainly
There's a specific thing for the name actually, but they also have their own representatives who go and procure on behalf. It is not completely individual to individual. I think they called some
Apologies,
savers or
just in the
something.
interest of time, I
totally
think.
we agree that.
Yeah, we can go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, just in the interest of time, I think we'll
That
need to move
so
on
we
to the next
understand
thing
that
as well.
the IT is also procuring indirectly from the independent aggregator also. Definitely, if there is unmet demand for us in direct procurement, we will also go with the aggregator and that model. But initially, for building the model, we have to go with the direct model, and the other models are very easy to implement. The main difficulty for implementation is the direct model, which we thought while doing the project.
Sure, appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, A-Team. We'd like to now move to Hit Squad from IIM Mumbai. Over to you.
Thank you, Ayush. So we'll be taking over. Vignesh, can you start the presentation, please? Yeah. So is the screen visible and is my voice audible?
Yes, please start.
Hello, Vignesh.
Yeah,
Can you
Vignesh.
confirm? Yeah, someone?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. A very good afternoon to everyone. We are Team Hit Squad from IIM Mumbai. So our team consists of Vigneshwar and Vaibhav and myself, Vaishnav. We will present a solution for the case 1 Green Grow. Let's get into the presentation started without further ado. Next slide, please. Our client, first we look at the executive summary. Our client Greengrow is in the business of converting agriculture waste into sustainable and economic viability of this business depends on the ability to source the right feedstock, which is paddy straw. The objective here is to create a procurement model which is robust. Greengrow currently has 6 RNG plants in Haryana. With 11 new plants coming up, they will be having 17 plants in total. Government schemes play a vital role in the agri-based business. We see that the government subsidies are more focused on creating FPOs. We also conducted a competitor analysis and found that currently the demand for paddy straw stands at 2 million tons, while the total availability is at 7 million tons. We forecasted the next 5-year demand for paddy straw for Greengrow. We see that a 3x increase for the 17 plants in the next 5 years is being seen. Greengrow will require approx 15% of the total available paddy straw for ex situ applications in Haryana. Next slide, please. There are 4 procurement models. We built 6 pillars or 6 KPIs of procurement based on economic viability and business longevity to analyze procurement models. We created multiple combinations of procurement strategy, and based on scenario analysis and above identified KPIs, we drilled down to a solution going with a procurement model of 50% procurement from FPOs, 20% from independent aggregators, and 30% from direct procurement. In the proposed model, Greengrow will require a total investment of 73.5 crore with a net present value of 7.7 crore over the next 5 years. Next slide, please. To start off, we started with the issue tree to identify key issues. The problem in procurement of paddy straw was of 3 major buckets: quality, cost, and availability. Each of these buckets were further analyzed microscopically. The three issues were raw material cost, stakeholder management, and farmer awareness. We formed hypotheses for these issues. First is landing cost of the raw material based on the number of middlemen. 2 is the difficulty to manage thousands of farmers in direct procurement. Third is farmer is not ready to take up the burden of collection of straw as the economic benefit is lower for him. It is easy for the farmer to burn the field. Next slide, please. We compared all the 4 procurement models on cost and qualitative aspect. For direct procurement, we looked at 2 sub-models, which were we compared cost with investment on the equipment and when the equipment is rented. From the cost comparison table, FPO and direct procurement with rented equipments are cheaper. Institutional aggregators are very high prices and don't seem to be a viable option going forward. Presently, we are dominated by individual aggregators, which have higher supply risk. Going forward, FPOs can reduce risk and cost up to 16% for Greengrow. To evaluate procurement on the qualitative aspect, we came up with 4 parameters: financial parameters, supply risk evaluation, control over quality, and managerial and executional aspects. Moving forward, out of the metrics identified, we prioritized 10 metrics and quantified these using a Likert scale and assigned weights through stakeholder consultation and Delphi method. Cost and investment was given a weightage of 45%, quality 24%, support risk and reliability 19%, and execution effort at 12%. Result of these analysis is FPO is the most attractive model, followed by direct procurement, then individual aggregators and institutional aggregators. We propose Greengrow should have supplier mix to mitigate any kind of risk. Given low cost, high reliability, and policy support from the government of India, FPO model will dominate the supply in the coming years. From here on, Vaibhav will take it forward.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaishnav. I'll take on here to discuss the result of scenario analysis and planning. We note that historically, FPOs are prone to failure. Greengrow should plan for different scenarios and have a plan in place. Before that, I would like to point out some of the major reasons for failure of FPOs, which are dissolution, lack of technical knowledge, lack of finance, lack of scaling opportunities, and conflict on ownership and control. Most of these problems listed here are addressable and controllable. Greengrow can help farmers to tackle these challenges. Hence, we have created 3 different scenarios which will be defined based on the success of FPOs in initial years. These scenarios have varied supplier mix as the situation evolves. The scenarios are: FPOs are successful, FPOs are partially successful, and the root cause is known and addressable. And third scenario is most of the partner FPOs failed. Next slide. Some of these challenges, since these challenges are executional and financial in nature, we compared each scenario on the basis of number of FPOs needed to fulfill the expected demand, investment required in each scenario, expected NPV saving in procurement in each scenarios. So in year 1, Greengrow will partner with 11 FPOs, which contributes to the 10% of the total supply and gauge the risk of FPO failure. Subsequently, in the following years, the number of partners FPO will increase based on the success or failure seen in year 1. For scenario 1, we can expect 65% of the supply from FPOs and partnering with 133 FPOs with NPV of 7.8 crore. For scenario 2, 50% of the supply from FPO and partnering with 102 FPOs with NPV of 7.7 crore. For scenario 3, we can expect 30% supply from FPO, partnering with 62 FPOs with NPV of minus 4.6 crore. Please note that these NPV values are only for 5 years projection. NPV will increase going forward as the most of the investment would happen in year 1 to year 4 and the benefits from them are likely to continue further. Next slide. This table summarizes each scenarios related metric to take a decision. Based on the consultation with the people who work in the area of paddy supply chain management and going by the policy intervention by the government of India, we expect scenario 2 where FPOs are partially successful is most likely to emerge. Through this strategy, we can expect Green Go to have partnered with 102 active FPOs and 50% of demand will be met by them. Also, we'll be partnering with 21,000 plus farmers who will cater to 30% of the demand, and the rest of 20% of the demand will be fulfilled by independent aggregator. As analyzed earlier, this reduces risk of supplier attrition as investment in FPOs are for longer term, reduced cost, and increases visibility for Green Grow going forward. Next slide. So the detailed financials are shown in this figure. You can observe that the average cost of procurement comes down from year 2023 to 2028. The difference between them is savings per ton. So annual demand increases from 2,75,000 to 8,13,000 as the number of RNG increases from 6 to 17 over the period of 5 years. We expect a NPV of 7.7 CR and a break even in 5th year. So now Vignesh will take you through the implementation plan proposed for the model.
Thank you, Vaibhav.
We cannot hear you, Vaibhav.
Vignesh, take this. Mute.
Hope I'm audible now.
Yes, you could be louder.
Yes. Let's have
Please
a
go
look
on.
at the implementation. Yes. Let's have a look at the implementation plan. This 5-year plan shows how we are going to rationalize the procurement through supplier mix. Here we can see how the present model transforms to 50-20-30 model over the span of next 5 years. The blue line indicates decrease in average procurement cost per ton over the time. We plan our implementation in 3 phases. They are test phase, which is in year 1, then growth phase, then standardization phase. In test phase, we aim to increase the supply of FPO to 10% and sustain the direct procurement to 20%. The focus of test phase is on public-private partnership to set up the FPO in collaboration with government, bank, and farmer association. Also, we propose to launch a mobile application for better stakeholder management. Let's come to the growth phase. During this phase, based on the test phase results, Green Grow should plan to increase the FPO proportion to 40% and direct procurement to 30% by onboarding 21,000 plus farmers. In this phase, we ensured district-wise FPO setup based on Green Grow plant location. Green Grow should also track critical KPI like failure rate of FPO, shortfall percentage, which is of supply, percentage of grievances raised by farmer, and action taken. In standardization phase, we focus on standardizing the procurement and stakeholder management through leveraging the proposed mobile application to share the best practice of mature FPOs. Secondly, we will take more action on inclusion, engagement, and farmer well-being to gain the trust. The flowchart showed the different agencies involved in creation and maintenance of FPO. The responsibility of each of these agencies are Agricultural Ministry will provide policy guidelines and financial support. SFACs and NAPMA will monitor the project execution. CBBOs, along with partner from Green Grow, to identify the clusters and provide the training. Advantages associated with PPP model. We will have a strong support from central and state government for FPO formation. Green Grow will help the farmer to get credit through bank. We expect policy stability from government as government has allocated a budget of 7,000 crore under RKV Yojana scheme. We can also learn from successful collaboration with the FPO like ITC Chaupan, Amul Cooperative Services, and Merico Parachute Kalpavriksha Foundation. Next, the priority issue identified as difficulty in managing multiple stakeholders and lack of farmer awareness toward government subsidy and bank loans. So, in order to facilitate a hassle-free process of getting the loan and subsidy, we propose a mobile application to integrate farmers, banks, governments, and Green Grow. This mobile application will be used by Green Grow representative, who we call as POC, and the CEO of the FPO. Key feature of this application is it will increase the Green Grow visibility for execution at the ground level. It will be utilized to ease the process of paperwork to get loans and government subsidy. Also, it acts as a mode of information between Green Grow and FPO. Let's have a look at the detailed implementation plan of FPO. So, detailed implementation plan will have 3 stages. Stage 1, onboarding the farmers. It involves area selection, creating awareness, and farmer enrollment. Stage 2, which is streamlining the FPO formation process. It starts with consultation with government agency, capital arrangement for equipment purchases. Stage 3, it involves training, handholding, and conflict management. Moving forward. Similarly, we propose 3-stage implementation plan for direct procurement. The 3 stages are onboarding the farmer, farmer collaboration, and procurement of paddy stock. Detailed steps of this is given in the slide. Hand over to Vaishnav.
Thank you, Vignesh. So looking at the risk mitigation, one of the key reasons why FPOs fail is due to the lack of proper stakeholder management. To mitigate this issue, we analyze stakeholder management matrix to look at the whole stakeholder power and the interest. For the provided solution, we see that the stakeholder are better poised and will cause lower risks in FPOs. We further develop possible risks and mitigation of these risks for each of the proposed models. So can we move on to the next slide, please? Further looking at our new e-com competitor, he will be having a bigger threat to us because he will also procure the farm products to sell it as private labels in his e-commerce website. The farmers will have better economic benefits with the e-commerce player. So based on the volumes required by the e-com player and the location where he is coming, we can decide whether to compete or to collaborate with them. Haryana has higher supply than demand of paddy straw, but the difficulty with the supply chain is that the supply chain is not built in a way for procurement. So if the collaboration gives a better synergies for building up supply chain, we can collaborate with the e-com players. In the shorter term, our Green Go should look at focusing on satisfying the annual demand, whereas in the longer term, we will lock in farmers through FPOs, and also we will focus on low-cost procurement. Going forward. So evaluating a balanced scorecard, we look at 4 major aspects and how our solution fits well into this scorecard. In terms of financial aspect, Green Grow will be happy with lower price and better ROI and improved financials. In terms of stakeholder management, the farmers will be happy with higher income, economic benefits, better standards of living, and the government also will be happy because there's a reduction of stubble burning. We have ticked all the boxes in terms of the 6 pillars we spoke about, and also the initial hypotheses were all validated here. Lastly, the model is scalable and also helps in business longevity. On the long-term aspect, this procurement model of 50-20-30 will be successful. And also, last but not the least, we also see that our procurement model, which we are telling here, we will be concerned about all 3 aspects of people, profits, and planet. So moving forward. So here I would like to give a very big sincere thanks to all the focus group discussion which we had with all the farmers in Haryana, with all the RNG partners and also the government executives who helped us throughout the journey, and also our professors who helped us through this journey. And also we'd also like to show the appendix part where we have done all the analysis in terms of the macroscopic view of Haryana, how the current business structure is, and how the kind of procurement is done presently, and how the procurement can be improved. All the primary, secondary analysis have been shown here just for this part here at the end, and how storage can be improved and how route optimization can be made in terms of using a distance matrix.
Thank you, team. So now the floor is open for the judges for the Q&A.
I'll ask a question first if there is time, and if there is time.
Okay, please go on, Satish.
My question is that in your assessment, FPO costing works out to be cheaper than the independent aggregator costing. Can you say with confidence that that will be the case, given the fact that this FPO technically is doing work for a very short period in a year, 45 days of
Yeah.
procurement, a very large
Yes, sir.
extent,
Sir,
and
actually,
for the remaining period is
yes, sir.
payment.
Yeah, so FPO model is costing cheaper because uh, there is a majorly 65% subsidy from the government to invest on the capital expenditure, which is mostly the equipments will buy. So per FPO, there will be equipment buying, and 25% Green Grow will invest, and 10% only is the farmer's contribution, which can be leveraged to the credit. That's why the FPO model is coming cheaper because of the subsidy, heavy subsidy provided by the government on the capital expenditure. If
The
that
same
answers your
subsidy is
question.
also available to the same subsidy is also available to the independent VABs who are procuring the same equipment.
Yes, sir. So this scheme is under PPP model, sir, in where a producer company, promoter company, which would be Green Grow in this case, will partner with FPOs. So this is will be available for independent aggregators, but they will have additional margins. Here we are partnering with FPOs, where the margins is reduced, and a promoter of the company would have a long-term contract because they have invested on 25% on the equities on the capital expenditure for forming that FPO. So it's a PPP model proposed by the government side to promote collaboration with companies.
Okay, thank you.
See, therein lies the risk actually. The whole model is very government subsidy intensive based. Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. So to answer that,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. To answer that, yeah.
So the biggest risk is coming from the fact that it is very subsidy incentive based kind of a model by which the entire RO is working for the procurement policy, which in itself is a big risk.
Yes, sir. So to answer your question, so as we see over the last 5 to 6 years, the kind of pollution that is being seen in Delhi, the government, the central government, and the state government, both are investing heavily in reducing the stubble burning activities. So year over year, if you see the budget, there has been better policies coming up, and more kind of budget has been allocated towards forming of FPOs in this model. So we also had a conversation with some of the government executives in Haryana, and we got to know that government is more towards forming FPOs, and year over year the budgets are going to increase. So this is one of the reasons why we're going to mitigate the risk, is because the government is not very happy with the kind of burning happening. So in the coming years, there will be more investments coming in from the government. So if we are going to have the first more advantage and integrate with the government, we will be the first movers to do that.
And so, just to add on to what Vaishnav said, so this like we read some of the policy guidance in the budget speech also. If you see, so the allocation, they have dedicated funds, and for FPO formation, government is really pushing so many guidelines in collaboration with various state governments, and there are various agencies like NABARD. There are CBBOs who will identify each and every agencies have their own role defined by the government of India, as per the recent guidelines that was issued in July 2020.
Thank you, team problem solvers. I would now like to move on to the next team. So I would invite team problem solvers from IMT Ghaziabad. So, okay. You may share your screen.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Please share your screen.
And is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, good evening, members of the jury. We are team problem solvers from IMT Ghaziabad, and we'll be presenting our case on. And we'll be presenting our case on next-gen solutions. So, the problem statement of our case is that next-gen solution, which is a software development company, wants to export software opportunities independent of the vehicle data generated by original equipment manufacturers or OEMs to target customers directly. To understand the feasibility of off-board softwares, we first examine trends in the automotive software industry. Globally, it is projected to reach 462 billion by 2030, with a 500 million market expected in India by 2025, growing at an 8.5 to 52% CAGR. If we look at the revenue breakdown from the vehicles currently, only 1% of the vehicle revenue is derived from the software services, but this figure is projected to increase to 29% by 2030. The total addressable market of off-board automotive software for two-wheelers and four-wheeler vehicles in India is 4,000 crores, which is calculated based on the number of vehicles sold in India in 2021 to 23. The serviceable obtainable market for any software company will be 52 crores if we are able to capture a market share of 10% in the first year. Now, coming to slide 2, this slide delves into the current supply chain for automotive software.
Team, we cannot hear you. Shubham, Harsh, Aryan.
Companies who in turn outsource components from tier 2 and OEMs also provide vehicle data with the shoes. We then further analyzed different types of data emitted by a vehicle. The ways to collect car data is either through car sensors or through SIM connectivity. Tire pressure, level of different fluids like different fluids like we conducted an online survey of 120 plus participants and found that the most popular services among the customers are real-time traffic intelligence, streaming-based entertainment, and parking services. We also conducted interviews and segmented our consumers into three personas: business-oriented individuals seeking better insurance rate, working professionals valuing in-car infotainment, and those with low tech savviness who use fewer features in a vehicle. Our interviews reveal that people perceive new car technologies as exciting and are willing to share personal information if they receive value in return. They also desire friendly features in their vehicles. Industry experts advise us that primary challenges in off-board software are revenue, sensitivity, and most important, availability.
After after conducting comprehensive primary and secondary research, we delved into potential business models our company could pursue. We have identified two distinct models: plug and play and app based. In the plug and play model, a device is physically connected to the vehicle's port, which enables us to collect data from the car sensors. The OBD port is utilized to access the vehicle's computer for tasks such as emission tests, and diagnostics. OBD scanners are employed to retrieve and monitor diagnostic and performance data, including information related to the engine, transmission, emissions, and fuel efficiency. However, it's worth noting that this model presents various safety and security risks as it potentially increases the number of targets and entry point for hackers. Nevertheless, it allows us to offer additional services such as predictive maintenance, adaptive suspension, tire pressure monitoring, and brake fluid warnings. On the other hand, the app-based model employs SIM connectivity to establish a connection with the vehicle and gather driver data through our dedicated application. The permissions required by the app typically include user registration, access to the mobile number, location data, and information related to the phone's motion and sensors. However, this model comes with certain limitations regarding the type of data that can be collected. Nevertheless, it does offer the capability to provide over-the-air software updates. We recommend the use of app-based model due to its compatibility with two-wheelers,
cost effectiveness for customers, addressing concerns related to the potential impact on vehicles, and enhance security and safety features. Our research also identified, Harsh, next slide, please. Our research also identified barriers in different stages of app adoption. During the app discovery stage, we encountered the value barrier and
Hello.
image barrier, which can be addressed by building trust. We can't see your screen, Harsh.
Is it visible now?
Not yet.
Hello.
No, not now.
Okay, let me just present again, please. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Our research also identified barriers in different stages of app adoption. During the app discovery stage, we encountered the value barrier and image barrier, which can be addressed by building trust. The app onboarding stage included usage and risk barriers, which can be mitigated through relationship reciprocity. In the app engagement stage, we found value and tradition barriers, which can be resolved by making the app more benevolent. App embedment stage involves value and risk barriers. So the user experiential illustration of our app, which can be seen below. Here, the user is confused about features that his car need, and next gen comes with the solutions to deliver it more features. It delivers services to the user. User uses the services and is delighted about the app. And at the final stage, customer delight shares our and it shares our services with other users. Next slide, please. We also have outlined a timeline for app development in which data processing step would take approximately 30 days. Model development would take an estimated of 30 to 60 days. Testing and validation would be taking 20 to 40 days, and deployment would take 10 to 20 days. To ensure the success of our app, we have emphasized a product-led growth, emphasizing the value-added services and ease of use. Creating an easy registration process, incorporating feature, offering multiple language intuitive UX and hands of view. Value-added services include features such as vehicle e-signing, offering fast emergency service, engagement section, implementing a pay-as-you-drive model to adjust pricing to the users. The app wireframe provides a provides a visual representation of how our app will appear. First, user registration, easy program using contact number. User will be asked to give verifications. The help consumers will be able to use our services. We did a competitive analysis. Please. We did a competitive analysis to understand competitive like offer services including crisis management, vehicle safety, personal safety, hands-free driving, and vehicle software updates. OnStar provides digital cockpit solutions, automating features, fleet and logistics support, and on-demand mobility service. Team offers services such as maintenance, emergency plug-and-play model, and customer assistance. We have in our office 3 different tiers to cater the needs of each segment of our customers. Offering our distinct offering encompasses critical features such as crash detection, route optimization, and an EV station finder. These services are qualified. Our competitor winners are services such as offering maps, Find My Car feature, and vehicle search. To stand out in the market, we have identified premium oil model involves payment insurance, economy, lifestyle, and vehicle. Suggestion, a driving system for and live speed restrictions.
So the services that we are offering is based on 5 pillars: enhanced safety, cost efficient driving, personalized experience, smart driving guidance, and seamless connectivity. To determine the pricing for each subscription, we conducted a competitor-based analysis considering the fees that OEMs are levying for comparable services. To create pricing model, we segmented the price into 3 tiers that will cater the needs of consumer personas and analyze our services which can be possibly be provided in two-wheeler and four-wheeler vehicles. Services like infotainment, route optimization, and Find My Car were not possible for two-wheeler vehicles. To allow our customer to experience our services, we are offering essential for both two-wheeler and four-wheeler completely free of charge, or a freemium model which include crash detection, EV charging station finder, and route optimization. The preferred plan will cost rupees 449 per month for two-wheeler and will include services like custom map and vehicle tracking. For four-wheeler users, preferred plan will cost rupees 249 per month and will include services like infotainment services, Find My Car, vehicle tracking, and custom maps. The premium plan will cost rupees 149 for two-wheelers and will have services like pay as you drive, drive style suggestions, live speed restrictions, and a driver score for discount. For four-wheeler users, premium plan will cost rupees 349 per month and will have similar services. The core of our value proposition lies in our driver-centric apps. It offers users a seamless experience each time they connect their device to a vehicle, eliminating the need for adjustment when switching between cars. One of our key differentiator is the driver score features, which enables user to get discount when leasing or renting vehicles. Coming to GTM strategy, our target age group will be 18 to 45 working professionals who have medium to high income, who are high tech savvy, conscious about quality, and are early adopters of products. We are planning to target the tier 1 cities initially. Now we'll look at the revenue potential and GTM speed of our services offered, which we calculated based on factors like service demand, monetization value, technical readiness, and data complexity. Pay as you drive has high revenue potential but slow go to market speed due to ecosystem complexity level. Driving style suggestion has high revenue potential but medium go to market speed due to data complexity involved. Live speed restrictions has medium revenue potential but slow go to market speed. The services that can be launched first include Find My Car, vehicle tracking, real time maps, and crash detection. In short term, we are planning to target premium roadster which have SIM connectivity as they are easy target with high revenue potential. In midterm, we'll target promising hybrids as currently they have medium market access and infrastructure with significant revenue potential. We'll deprioritize the crawling bumpers which don't offer Bluetooth or SIM connectivity as they are slow go to market and low revenue potential. For customer acquisition, we focus on the awareness, consideration, purchase, and loyalty model. For awareness, we'll do influencer marketing and collaboration with travel agencies. For getting into the consideration set of our customers, we'll launch social media campaigns, launch a dedicated website for our services, and have lucrative subscription plan and offers. To increase our purchases, we'll give first month free trial for testing and in-app purchases option. To create a loyal customer base, we'll have a referral program and showcase customer review on our website and social media to retain customers. Coming to financials, the cost of app development comes to 77.20 lakh rupees. To calculate this, we have considered the time required for each activity and per hour developer rate, which is according to the industry standards. We are planning to go aggressive with our marketing strategy. So we have kept our marketing cost at 99 lakh, which includes cost of advertising, promotion, event and trade shows, and miscellaneous expenses. There is certain other costs as well,
I'm
like the
sorry, your
cloud.
time is up. Sorry, your time is up.
Thank
Now
you.
we open the floor for Q&A.
Going first,
Any
let me
questions?
ask the question that existing apps with the current EV suppliers, EV vehicle suppliers, are you aware what's the response? For example, Tata Nexon started charging for the app, and there's a significant percentage of the user who declined the service. On the other hand, let's say MG or any of the iconic or high-end EV cars are providing the similar app services free of cost, and that is being used over there. So under the scenario where attempt by an existing OE to offer the services was met with a stiff resistance, how do you think that you will be able to get an acceptability as an independent app amongst the same community?
So, sir, like we mentioned that our app is not using the data which is connected to the vehicles. And similarly, the other apps which are provided by different companies, like you mentioned, MG, Maruti, or Hyundai, they are using the vehicle data, and also similar. They also have a very similar model that they provide some of the services free of charge, and then they charge different kind of subscription plans for other services. So we are also planning to do the same, similar thing, but we have various differentiating factors. Like one of the factor was pay as you drive, and also the personalized driving feature that we have. So while a customer is connected to our app, then he do not have to switch to different apps if he have more than one vehicle to get those driving style features on different platforms. So and also if our customer has a higher driving score, then he'll be also getting discount at their insurance rate. So those are some of the benefits. I think that monetary benefits our customers, and that monetary benefit will provide value to our customer in the long run.
Okay, a very interesting presentation. Firstly, kudos to you guys for that. Uh, See, this can become a category which is highly intensive in terms of competition, uh, like a telecom, because the power of data will get unleashed, and the cost of entry, the entry barrier itself for this category is very low. Anybody can get into this quite easily, actually, and make a mark. So the first mover advantage and scaling up becomes very critical for a player in this. Because Indians fundamentally have a very low brand switch tendency. Once they've adopted one particular app, they don't tend to move to another app very fast. Even if the advantage of another app is slightly better, they don't tend to perceive it like that. So the stickiness of an app which is first launched and which is providing reasonable service is much higher for whatever reason as far as the Indian customer base is concerned. Uh, Given that scenario, how do you propose to actually scale this up? Because I think scaling up to a certain critical mass becomes critical for this to get established and to thwart the entry of other players, which anyway will happen in this.
So, sir, to like we mentioned, to scale our model, we will be having a first mover advantage, and initially we will be targeting the tier one cities only, and in that tier one cities, in also the premium roadsters that we are targeting. So first we will engage with them and getting customer feedbacks and customer reviews from them. Then we'll do aggressive marketing, which we are doing initially as well. So that's how we plan to capture this market, and then we'll be targeting the hybrid and the two-wheeler model as well. Most of the apps currently which are present in the market, they only cater to the four-wheeler segment, but nobody is currently catering to the two-wheeler segment as well. So if we also cater to the two-wheeler segment, that can bring extra revenue to our company. So that's how we plan to capture the market.
Sir, also as you said that many people are likely to switch because new players would come in. So that's where customer loyalty program, or as we have seen that the driver score and pay as you drive features, these would come in, because the more the people would stay with our app, the better they the better services they would get. So in case of medical insurance, also this part comes if someone is sticking to a medical insurance offerer, then they are likely to get benefits. So similar feature we would like to bring in with the car insurance and our app with the pay as you drive and the driver score feature.
See, one of the things that you should
All right.
actually should have explored is. So anyway, go ahead, Ash. No problem. I think if the time is up, we can. I'm sure some other person will also be covering the same topic, so we can question there as well.
Right. All right. So we'd now like to move on to the next team, which is Strategic Wizards from IIFT. They'll be taking up case 3. Please start.
Good evening, everyone. We are Team Strategic Wizards from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and we will be presenting our solution on case number 3 of Phoenix Inclusive. So now we'll just dive as we see the problem statement. So Phoenix is facing a profitability issue, and it is going to become a profitable in a year and has a target to attain a 5 to 7 times revenue growth in 3 to 4 years. Now, when we observe this automobile repair and maintenance market, it is poised to grow at a CAGR of 12% and going to become a market of $25 billion by 2030. Further, when we see 1 out of 12 households in India at least own one car, customer experience and satisfaction become predominantly very important in this sector. So when we observe, there are 3 types of workshop which exist. First, authorized dealers. Second, private owned players which are local and regional. And third, the partnered workshop such as Phoenix, which are Go Mechanic and Vehicle Care. The approach we followed to tackle this problem first is to synthesize the problem statement, understanding the industry and customer, then further developing the issue tree and generating the hypothesis, comparing our primary and research and merging it to our hypothesis to generate the solution strategy, further evaluating the feasibility of those strategy and establishing the mode. So now we'll proceed to the issue tree. So as we observe, EBITDA is negative. So there can be 2 main causes. First, decrease in revenue. Second, increase in cost. So first we'll tackle the decrease in revenue. So if we see there are main 3 sub causes out of it. First is the commission where we observe there is no change. Second is the number of services performed, which have 4 more main sub causes. First, workshop becoming more independent. Second, increasing in the number of orders cancelled due to inefficient workshop allocation and inadequate customer support. Third main cause of number of services decrease is users dropping out due to technological limitation. Fourth, reduction in repeated visits due to bad first-hand customer experience and ineffective loyalty program. The third main cause of decrease in revenue is like less usage of different types of services offered by Phoenix. We see the mainstream usage such as periodic service, which has a low margin, whereas we also observe there are limited number of services which are offered by Phoenix. So now moving to the second header, which is like decrease in cost. So we observe the marketing expenses are higher in few of the geographies, and also the skill gap in the technicians are resulting in more escalation and rework. To summarize, limited sources of revenue, ineffective loyalty programs, and are the main causes of decrease in the Phoenix negative EBITDA. Now hand over to Riddhi.
Found out from a primary research to customers and workshops we visited, which act as a basis for different solution strategies. Like 50% of them are not even aware of these online apps, and only 9% have ever used it. Out of the customer management, inefficient services, application glitches, and no proper offerings are top issues they are faced. For workshops, it is difficult to capture because fragmented market and local players. The objective from the solution is completely reimagining Phoenix, and for which we have divided the strategies into 3 effort-wise implementation, which is low, medium, and high. And this could be seen in the later slides as well. First is strengthen the current position. Next, venture into a new portfolio. And lastly, diversify offering altogether new markets like B2B. First is loyalty program. The Gear Up Phoenix loyalty program is the name. Now, rather than having one subscription model, we have different fees for each different car segment. It will have some personalized offers and also some points irrespective of the of services taken a lot, like 10 points on review, 50 on referral, etc. Also incorporating gamification to earn these points. This can be used for the next services. Like, for example, if I have some of it in my account, might be pushed to take the service, it utilizes completely. Interesting point here is not just we are offering to B2C, but here is the catch, B2B. Our fleet management partners like Spinny, Car Dekho, etc. like bundle it discounted or free to the second-hand car owners, which will obviously increase our revenue when they take frequent services from us and obviously more coverage of our loyalty programs. Next, combining marketing and AI-based algorithm. Firstly, having detailed activities like offline activation kiosk and collecting data at residential or petrol pumps to create awareness about Phoenix and utilize the data for push, targeted and email marketing. Next, we have the ATL activities like advertisements on roads for tow and accident assistance, having an SOS on Phoenix app for immediate help, partnering with Cred, Car Dekho to have ads on them, focusing on advertisements of luxury car wash at our deluxe workshops as well, post all our marketing efforts, having an AI driven personalized reminders and service recommendation based on customer database and automated readings on app, which will enhance the customer experience benefiting the Phoenix for cross sell. Next, we have identified three major stakeholders for Phoenix. First, workshops to have a 5 point criteria to onboard workshops. Next, hire EV technicians with government recognized certification to upskill them. Also maintaining TQM and Lean Six Sigma. Next, a minimum order guarantee rewarding the consistent performing workshops to maintain standardization across. The next stakeholders is service administrator. Their frequency of visits to workshop must increase for payments and reconciliation of accounts. They must train their technicians for cross-sell opportunities, also revamping their incentivization linked to few KPIs as mentioned. Next, at the organization level, having for customers, having a one-stop solution, which is CRM implementation to reduce SA load as there are huge cancellation of orders as per the data given by partnering with Salesforce Autolead, which is a dashboard of all your activities for your customer journey. Handing over to Arun.
So now to sustain itself in the market, Phoenix needs to venture into new service offerings. As car owners, we always imagine a world where we can get the care we need when we need it without having to worry about the financial burden. So that's the world Phoenix should try to create through strategic collaboration with partners. Through strategic partnership, Phoenix can use its data analytics to analyze the RC data and sell personalized insurance opportunities for each incoming vehicles, leveraging the full car diagnosis score for tailored premium plans for our customers as given in the table. By optimizing every customer touchpoint, Phoenix can streamline the insurance claims process and enhance the customer satisfaction. Next, Phoenix Fix Now and Pay Later solution. By collaborating with financial institutions, fintech innovators, and petrol pump networks, which offers customers unparalleled payment flexibility option. Now, this not only enhances the affordability of our customer, but also it drives the revenue for Phoenix through increased conversions. Now, coming to the next slide, introducing the Phoenix pre-purchase car inspection services with a standard 100-point checklist inspection. Here, Phoenix provides the customers with immediate comprehensive reports and instant valuations. This helps to empower our customers to make confident and informed decisions about their purchases. As we strengthen the trust of our customers, Phoenix can act as bridge between both the parties, like the seller and the buyer, which will give us a broader customer base. Now, next, we can tap into the thriving car accessories market also, which has actually usually 25 to 30% profit margin. Like how we can enter, we have to strategically partner with leading e-commerce giants like Amazon, Flipkart, Moglix, leveraging the D2C platforms. And here, Phoenix can enable cross-selling through AI recommendations in our app and websites. Moreover, Phoenix should introduce the high margin detailing services, which includes policing, coating, PPF, which have usually profit margins of 50 to 60%. Here, we will implement this firstly in metro and tier 1 cities as pilot phase. Now, coming to the next slide, diversifications, like we need to diversify into new market segments and services which will ensure Phoenix growth and market relevance. So Phoenix should enter the EV services, EV mobility, by venturing into EV periodic services. Next, partnering with EV OEMs for genuine spare parts, collaborating with the charging point operators for its maintenance and repairs. So this strategic move will ensure the future proof of our revenue and position Phoenix as an early mover in the EV service sector, which will also establish our brand as sustainable brand and expand the customer base also. Now the challenge with this solution is the high initial investment for setting up the resources and the time consuming negotiations with the CPOs and OEMs. Phoenix, the next part is Phoenix can also venture into the spare parts sector through strategic alliances with OES, and aftermarket leaders. Here, the focus should be on seamless availability, minimizing the downtime, and implement an inventory management strategy based on FSN model and demand variability. Here, we can also leverage outsourcing our warehousing part through hub and spoke model to 3PL partners to ensure on-time delivery. Now, coming to the next slide, Phoenix can boost its growth by diversifying into B2B fleet management services. We will strategically partner with cab service like Ola, Uber, Blue Smart for EV fleets, then used car retailers like Spini, Cars Dekho, Cars 24, luxury hotels in metro and tier 1s for their fleet, logistic providers for their LCV fleets, e-commerce and quick delivery services for their LMD fleets. So here the focus should be on delivering end-to-end fleet management visibility with data-driven dashboard as shown in the slide, which will reduce the client fleet downtime, and it offers financial analysis for their informed decisions. Now next we have to tap also into the booming two-wheeler and three-wheeler service market in India. Here, the Phoenix strategy should be clear and offer express doorstep services, cross sell related services like insurance and accessories to the customers, and partner with delivery service providers like Blinkit, Zepto, Dunzo, and Rickshaw associations in geographies for B2B contracts. This approach expands our revenue stream by accessing a vast market and customer base. Now, I would hand over to Abhinav.
So now we have seen a plethora of solutions. So now we'll evaluate all these solutions. So we are following a 4 point scoring methodology where we have four major parameters. First, expected effort. Second, potential impact. Third, investment required. And fourth, degree of imitation. So first, we are scoring it from 1 to 5, where 1 means the lowest score in terms of Phoenix and 5 means the potential or the best score in terms of Phoenix. We have also segregated a solution in three-phase implementation. First is the short term, second medium term, and third is the long term. So in the short term, we want to prioritize multi-tiered loyalty program, operational enhancement, and the tie-ups to make sure we have more cross-selling and bundling opportunities. In the medium term, we want to focus more on the strategic tie-ups with the fix now, pay later, promote cashless insurance, and also pre-purchase car inspection. So from this strategic tie-up, we have more total customer lifetime value. And in the long term, we want to focus more on fleet management and the electric vehicle services because these are the diversification opportunities which will ensure a continuous set of revenue. So now we'll be moving on to the next slide where we'll be discussing about the more strategies. So yeah. So first, mode strategy is effective and extensive distribution reach. As Phoenix is currently available in 30 cities, which are tier 1 and tier 2 cities, so it can further penetrate and expand to more tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So a visible presence with numerous services can enhance the brand recognition and reputation in the market. Secondly, customer obsession. In the automobile repair and maintenance market, customer satisfaction and obsession become pretty dominant because the customer gets sticky to the usual workshop which he goes to. So the multi-tiered customer loyalty program and operational enhancement can be the differentiating parameter. Now, further moving to differentiated technology, implementing the CRM by the basis where we will be taking care of the workshop as well as the customer management, and also integrating with the DigiLocker, which gives an easy access to the insurance paper, driver licenses, and also the vehicle maintenance reports. Now, moving to the fourth parameter, which is economies of scale. So, Phoenix can negotiate better deals with the supplier as it goes in the scale. And also, it can act as an entry barrier for other competitors to venture in is this particular segment. Now, moving to the fifth mode, which is the first mode blanket. As Phoenix can enter into the e-vehicle segment, which is the growing market, and entering into market can act as a first mover blanket, where it can also train its technicians to gain the sustainability uh, training such that it becomes a blanket and where the competitors won't be able to enter it. Now, Phoenix has already ventured into the multiple business segment where it has a potential multiple sources of revenue where it can have a cross sell opportunity which can increase the customer lifetime value, also the average transaction value, and decrease the cost of acquisition of the customers. So now this was the team strategic wizards and we are open to questions.
Thank you, team.
Once again, a very good presentation, quite comprehensive. See, in the short-term strategy, as you had mentioned, cross-selling and bundling as a key strategy in terms of how you'd be able to break even again and then start, putting in the investments for the growth that you're aspiring for. Now, cross-selling and bundling would largely depend upon the brand equity of your own brand to be able to associate with better brands. You will have to leverage better brands for your brand to be able to get better traction. Now, when your brand equity itself is not as well established because it is going down, the probability of others willing to partner with you will be much lower.
Yes. So in the short term, what I meant with the cross-selling and bundling opportunities is we were talking about the like denting and painting. So these are the opportunities which we can look up. Like if someone is coming for the regular maintenance, we can cross-sell and bundle other services with the help of the service administrator as well as the workshop technicians. Because if you see the periodic maintenance, that is a very low scope when it comes to the margin. But when we bundle the additional services out of it, it gives an additional opportunities, and this is the short term when it comes to the less than 6 months. In the medium term, which is 6 to 12 months, like so 6 months to 2 years, we want to further replicate it. We want to partner with the established player. We want to go with the fix now pay later. So these are the things which we want to further inculcate. We want to give them, the insurance partner, also the opportunities where they can like leverage our expertise, where we can give them the data to push to the customer, and same time we also want to send the notification to the customer. See, this is the time you should go and get your car repaired.
Okay,
Do we have any more
Let me
questions,
ask a
Ishpreet?
question. Let me ask a question. You've obviously talked to a number of car owners and two-wheeler owners. What was the biggest unsolved?
What's the
I'm
unmet
so
need so far? What's the question?
sorry, sir. I think we missed the.
Yes, I think we lost Raj. There's a connectivity issue. Meanwhile, is there any other questions, Ishpreet?
The question that was asked was what was unmet need of the customers on the survey? Yeah, go ahead, Ash.
Yes, I was. I think Raj is back, but I'll just quickly go ahead and understand. While I think the whole purpose is to revive the brand on the consumer strategy, is what my essence is of the case study. You mentioned a lot of B2B focus. You mentioned B2B in terms of cross-selling to Uber, Spinning, Ola, Blue Smart, etc. On the consumer strategy, have you done some analysis on the marketing spent on the customer acquisition for consumers? What's what kind of cost typically do you see when you want to acquire new customers? You mentioned about the retention of the customers, but the acquisition on direct and what's the return on those kind of spends? Have you done some analysis on that? And what should be and what currently is the market share in the aftermarket for this kind of segment and what it can be? Did you get the question?
Team, are you there?
Yeah, we are there. Arun, you want?
So, sir, like for the strengthening the position or the current positions, like we actually went through, like we went to the field, like we connected with some of the like partnered workshops as well, and the like private owned workshops as well. So in those workshops only we got to connect with the customers also, and like what in this sector, like the customers usually they go for periodic services, they install the app, then when the renewal or the renewal of services happens, then only they come to the app again. So the main marketing or the what we focused here is the push notifications. So there should be enough push notifications so that they should be retained with our app or whether websites, the booking services. So for that, actually, we analyze the cost part, like how much we should like expense with the partnership of like for the digital marketing, and the relating to the market share, sir. We analyzed the market share of privately owned, then the partnered workshops and the authorized workshops, not like completely into the depth of the solutions.
Okay,
Hello.
thanks.
Also adding to that, we've
Right.
tried to go for some. Can I just continue?
Yes, please.
For some offline activities as well. So obviously, offline activities will have some kind of expenses for us rather than online activities that could be done. That would be very low on expenses, as we have mentioned, and offline activities like setting up kiosks or having. Like we have presented having offline activations to that will collect the data who are interested, and we'll give them some offers and send them some push and targeted notification to get attracted them to Phoenix. So offline activities will have a major expense in that rather than online activities. So that's why this is how we have segregated our expenses as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So in the interest of time, I'd like to move on to the next team,
Thank you so much.
which is Team BT from NMIMS. They'll also be presenting their analysis on case 3.
Am I audible?
Please start. Yes, you are.
Uh, is the is the cursor visible so to everyone?
Yes, please start.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll be starting. Good evening, everyone. We are Team BT from NMIMS Mumbai. Today, we would be talking about our solution journey for Phoenix. The next 15 minutes will start with the industry landscape where Phoenix operates, followed by the problems of Phoenix and our approach. We will then walk you through the strategies, followed by its implementation and impact. Let's begin. Did you know that the car servicing market is poised to reach an astounding $25 billion by 2030, boasting a CAGR of 12%? While you might be wondering what is leading to this substantial growth, well, we figured out through our primary and secondary research that the growth here can be attributed to factors such as rising car sales and high convenience expectation. To further understand this industry, we talked to various garages, customers, and industry leaders as a part of our primary and research and got to know that in this thriving landscape, two major players stand out: the OEMs and local garages. While they mentioned the positives, they also talked about the challenges they faced in terms of affordability, a lack of transparency, counterfeit parts, and access to spares. To understand the car aggregation space, we dived into the structure of local garages and found out that two fundamental problems, a fragmented value chain and scalability issue owing to space, capex and skill issues remain a pressing concern. Moving on, how often have we seen garages with a good look and feel? Seldom, right? Because there's a catch, the impossible trinity. When we talked to multiple garages, we found out that they wanted to expand, but must choose two out of three options: lower profits, lower prices, or better facilities. This poses a tough challenge because much of their revenue comes from labor charges, making it impossible to raise prices without risking competitiveness. Hence, achieving all three is impossible. Our key takeaway from our analysis is that aggregators can solve this puzzle. However, to thrive as an aggregator, two things. First, value addition, and second, solving the problems of workshops is a must. As numerous examples have shown that many aggregators failed because their sole focus was primarily on solving for competition. Now that we had our first bit of research done, we wanted to figure out how could we use that research to address the problem. Let's zoom in on Phoenix. When we deep dived into the issues, four prominent things came to our notice, out of which we feel low retention and weak partnerships are hampering it big time. In retention, our hypothesis is customers' poor experience in terms of service, quality, and time, as well as the lower adoption of the loyalty program is affecting Phoenix. For weak partnerships, our hypothesis is uniform pricing across cities limits the workshop to exercise their control, while lower flexibility and incentives to our partners can lead to poaching. We will address these challenges with high impact solutions outlined here in Bluebit in detail shortly. Low impact solutions highlighted in the gray are available in the appendix. Achieving these solutions will bring us closer to Phoenix goals, doubling demand, achieving positive EBITDA, and multiplying revenue by 5 to 7 times. Talking about the Phoenix blueprint for victory, our approach for success hinges on two robust pillars. The first of which revolves around differentiation, which will help Phoenix to beat competition and win workshops and customers. The second pillar is all about sustainable growth, which will help Phoenix to gain unparalleled market dominance. And here's the key: it's not just about individual strategies, it's about creating an ecosystem. The ecosystem strategy forms our moat, a combination of strategies working in harmony. Together, we are building a fortress of success. Now, Yadnesh, would you like to talk about the pillars of success?
Thank you, Arnav. Now that we have understood from our research that value addition by aggregator is the key for surviving, and we have got a fair bit of idea about our approach, let's actually take a look at the major differentiators and the ideas we have suggested to reach the milestones. A quick guide to the solutions walkthrough for the coming slides. The structure will be why, how, and the impact of the strategy. Also, each issue addressed will be tagged at the top right of the slide. The customer and the revenue growth metrics cited for the impact section were calculated using guesstimates or industry benchmark, which is attached in the Excel. Let's start. The very first differentiator is standardization of workshops. Why? This is to outplay OEMs and to therefore set a base for growth strategies. Through our primary research, we got to know that workshops don't have access to credit and expertise. How? So to start off with, we want to facilitate capex loans to workshop to improve operational efficiency. Through NBFCs, workshop would be empowered to standardize and acquire essential equipment. Alongside, we would provide them expertise in terms of training and grant them a database access designed to help tackle complex repair issues. The impact, what impact would this have on our workshop partners? They would be able to serve 70% more customers. Also, customers will delight in experiencing a unified and standardized service, similar to the consistency offered by well-established brands like McDonald's. Talking about the impact on Phoenix, Phoenix will see a 2 times increase in revenue while strengthening partnerships with value addition to workshops. Now that we have added value to our partner workshops, let's tackle the competition by our next differentiator, that is incentivizing workshops. Why? So along with preventing competitors from poaching our workshop partner, we will solve a critical issue currently faced by Phoenix that pertains to higher number of order cancellation by our partner workshops. This stems from two reasons. The first is the working capital constraint they experience due to the monthly settlement cycle. Second, these workshops only accept order when they have lower occupancy. How? So we have devised two solutions. to tackle these challenges. The first solution involves adjusting the payment cycle. Here, we'll shorten the payment cycle from 30 days to 7 days, or if the order value exceeds 50,000, whichever threshold is met first. The second solution entails offering incentives to workshop for servicing a greater number of cars. The more the number of cars serviced per month, the lower will be the commission charged by Phoenix. The impact, this initiative is expected to bring a 1.5 times increase in the number of customers and a 1.4 times increase in revenue. Next, we want to focus on customer centricity. So our third differentiator introduces a two-pronged strategy encompassing fair pricing and Phoenix Rise service. Why fair pricing? To enhance customer trust and address the challenge of uniform pricing across cities. How? Here, we will introduce fair pricing model that factors in location-specific elements such as cities' demand dynamics like weekdays versus weekends, the competition, and so on to ensure fairness and benefit for both customer and workshop is guaranteed. Our next strategy, Phoenix Rise. Why? To carve out a niche differentiator and to capitalize on the market opportunity of pre-owned luxury cars. Because this cohort of customers need servicing at affordable prices with assured quality. They also have the highest ticket size and they have 1.67 times more sales than the normal car. How? So our best performing workshops will be trained and equipped to handle this category of customers. Also, we will be partnering with workshops exclusively servicing luxury cars. The impact, we are hopeful that this will improve our brand image and Phoenix will be looked upon as a trusted brand. With both these strategies, Phoenix will see a 1.7 times increase in customer and a whopping 2.3 times increase in revenue. With all these key strategies now in place, we have significantly fortified Phoenix position in the market. Remember, we talked about the differentiator pillar during our approach. Through these strategies, we have successfully built that pillar. Now, Shubham, will you help Phoenix construct their growth pillar?
Sure, Yadnesh. After the differentiation strategies, which help us to gain competitive edge, we move towards sustainable growth strategies. These are based on a simple funda, having a higher customer lifetime value than the cost of acquiring them. So how can we increase this customer lifetime value? This brings us to our first growth strategy, revamping the loyalty program. The case fact tells us that repeat rate of subscribed users is 8 times more than that of unsubscribed users. But the problem is, due to uniform pricing, Wagoner and Mercedes both have to pay 50% of 1500 subscription cost, while a Wagoner can save only 1400. So we recommend a differential pricing model where Wagoner would pay 700 and Mercedes 1500. This will ensure each car segment has enough savings and drive the loyalty program adoption. Now we suggest to take the loyalty program to next level to act as a customer acquisition channel. Our recommendation is to implement a coalition loyalty program with partners who have car touchpoints like petrol bunks, car financing companies, etc., where customer can earn points based on their spending at partner network and redeem it at Phoenix. This coalition program will have high synergies because one, for the same customer cohort, CAC will be shared between the partner network and Phoenix. Two, Phoenix can also market itself at these partner networks, giving them a huge visibility. We believe these solutions will lead to a staggering 3x customer growth and 2.25x revenue growth. Based on our funda, after increasing CLV, our next strategy focuses on lowering CAC. Let's see how can we do that. After the standardization of workshop, Phoenix is best positioned to ride the inorganic growth by exploring white space opportunities in B2B segment. And the best part is it will solve the problem of low occupancy rate of workshops. Therefore, we recommend high impact partnerships which will secure Phoenix right to win. For instance, partnership with EV OEMs. This will help Phoenix to get access to exclusive customer base and get a first mover advantage. And these OEM companies will get an instant pan-India coverage. With insurance companies, Phoenix can unlock a large market for itself with a relatively higher ticket size. And insurance companies can reduce their claim settlement ratio as OEMs currently charge heftily to these insurance companies. Similarly, Phoenix can partner with fleet vehicles like Ola, Uber, and used car platforms like Spinny. These partnerships will give Phoenix a whopping 3x customer growth and 2.7x revenue growth. After increasing retention and generating user growth for Phoenix to stay at the top of its revenue curve, it is imperative to create a new revenue stream which has higher margins and greater moats in terms of synergy benefits. Therefore, we recommend Phoenix to foray into the space market. It is a huge market with $15 billion potential, but it is a highly competitive one. So, how can Phoenix win in this market? One, by having a seamless execution. Since the devil lies in the execution, we devised this flowchart showing a tech-enabled supply chain with SaaS solution benefiting all customers. In the first steps, Phoenix will procure at a low cost from original equipment suppliers. In the next step, retail touchpoints will order using SaaS platform provided by Phoenix. In the final step, workshop can procure from retail touchpoints. Two, because of the synergy benefits from workshop network and a strong customer-centric platform. Now, let's look how this business will fare in the next 4 years. Retail touchpoint expansion coupled with high margins anywhere between 20 to 40% will drive growth. And spares will account for a 20% of the overall revenue in next 4 years. Based on our estimation, this is a fairly capital intensive business, but a highly rewarding one with 23% IRR. Now, let's see how Phoenix adds strategic value to how spares adds strategic value to Phoenix. The interplay between space and services will help Phoenix to reduce the cost of space for workshops, ultimately benefiting customers. Next is ensure quality of space to win customer trust. Space will complete our ecosystem strategy and unlock exponential growth for Phoenix. This ecosystem play will provide a one-stop solution for all the market players. When Phoenix started, it was a car servicing aggregator, but now when we think of car aftermarket, Phoenix will be available at all touchpoints. This will launch Phoenix on a multi-year growth trajectory and help it gain market dominance. Now, Arnav will continue with the implementation strategy.
Thank you, Shubham. After that, we have seen all the solutions. To effectively prioritize our solution, we adopted a comprehensive 360-degree approach, closely examining key performance indicators, KPIs that are significantly impacting the entire ecosystem. Our ultimate aim was to identify high impact solution that would propel Phoenix forward. We have given a score on the base of 100 for each KPI. For example, if we see B2B partnerships here, the total strategic KPI score is 100, further divided into 50 each for importance and ease of implementation. For importance, we have given highest score of 50 given it helps build the ecosystem, a medium score of 37.5 for ease of implementation because it is difficult to get partners on board. Similarly, other scores are calculated, achieving a final score of 245. After that, we have ranked the top 5 solutions. As we proceeded with the implementation of these strategies, we carefully followed a 4-step process: planning, execution, assessing effectiveness, and evaluating maturity. Our primary focus here is to ensure growth at all phases is taken care of. For instance, when B2B partnership sees maturity in year 4, strategies like standardization and spares will continue to drive Phoenix forward, ensuring that we meet all of Phoenix objectives. This is how our revenue trajectories look like after implementing the top 5 strategies, resulting in a
We
6.85
lost
times
your
growth. The
voice.
cherry on the cake. Hello? The cherry on the cake. Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Hello?
now.
The cherry on the cake, if we implement all the strategies, it would result in a 8.55 times growth. Picture this. It is 2027. Our winning formula, deeply rooted in
Hi,
our
sir, your
ecosystem
time is
strategy,
up.
has given us the. So the next time you think about car, you think is not too far. That concludes our
Thank you,
presentation.
team. Okay, thank you, team. The floor is now open for questions.
See, in a category like this, retaining manpower, especially the mechanics who become the critical asset of the firm of this nature, is a big issue in a company which is going down. The OEMs itself struggle a lot in that. I don't know how you people are proposing that, and also to get the partner workshops to when you're saying it very easily that you can acquire them like that, but roping them in when you yourself are struggling is not going to be easy.
So we have taken an approach where we will be partnering with the NBFCs. We will provide the workshop data to the NBFCs, and they will assess and help these car garages to with capex loans. And we have given an estimate for the next 4 years. We will be going from 5% to 40% of the overall partner network will be availing these kind of loans. So
The
that was
NBFCs will be the last one to actually. The NBFCs will be the last one to actually buy into this kind of a model.
So like since we have the workshops data with us, so when we are able to underwrite them, so because since we have all the data there, all the details, so
When this
on the
data
basis
is
of that,
monetized, nobody will touch you. Till you show proof of data being monetized, nobody will touch you.
but the access to credit becomes easier. So we will take due permissions of the workshops and help them to come to our. And the next thing also, when we are talking about incentivizing the workshops, so we said that when we are focusing on the workshops who are dependent on us, Yadnish, can you go to that slide? Incentivizing the workshops. So here, if you see where we are targeting is that whose share of revenue in Phoenix is more than 25%. These are the only workshops we are targeting. Our first focus would be based on the case data was that the workshops who are entirely dependent on us, they would start with this. Then we will go down and slowly over the 4 years we will partner with them. It is not that we are focusing completely on we also believe that this is not easy, but since Phoenix has an ambitious revenue growth requirement, we believe that all the strategies in synergy will help them achieve that.
Okay. I think it was a good presentation. And I have a question that one of your high impact strategy is around spares, where aggregating power of Phoenix is being used to provide genuine spare probably at a lower cost than what a normal workshop can procure. And hence there's arbitrage opportunity which you need to exploit. Question is, how do you ensure that your efforts are being met and at the workshop level, these things are not cannibalized? Auto industry is full of practices where a genuine part gets substituted by the local part and then again gets sold in the market. So how do you ensure that what you procured, what you gave to the customer actually got fitted or got used in the engine?
Uh, so for the spares market, like when we are partnering with them, so we are ensuring that when we partner with them, the demand should come from us. That is the only requirement which we are telling these partners, because when we are planning to have an ecosystem built around, so when we are talking about also the demands of JIT and everything, we are telling them that is based on the assumption that these are the workshops who are who are buying not the genuine parts in the market. And if we are partnering with them and reducing their cost of buying, they would come to us. Secondly, this thing we are ensuring because the insurance companies will also need to get the genuine parts. So if we can promise the workshops that the number of customers you are getting is going to get larger, and the cost of procurement of the spares through us uh, uh, will be lower, since we are the creating the whole ecosystem. This we believe that would help the garages to partner with us, given the incentive of more number of customers we are giving it to them. Also, this is very important because here we have to ensure for the insurance companies which we are saying that will tie up with us, we need to have genuine parts in the vehicles, otherwise they will also not partner with us.
Thank you, team. We would now like to move on to the next team, which is Team Phalanx from NMIMS. They'll be presenting case 4. So over to you guys.
Good evening, everyone. Is the screen visible?
Not yet.
Good evening, everyone. Is this screen visible?
Not yet, not yet. I cannot see it as well.
It's not
Okay.
visible.
You haven't shared your screen. I cannot see it.
Yeah,
Just a minute, sir.
Is it visible now, sir?
Yes, I'm just putting it up. Please go on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are Team Phalanx, and we are choosing the case for, and our client is Prime Corporation. So, to tell about Prime Corporation, they are the leading manufacturer of bulk chemicals like PVC resins and have over 5 decades of experience in this particular industry. Owing to the cyclical nature of the bulk chemicals, the company wants to forward integrate into CPVC, UPVC manufacturing and settings. So what is CPVC? CPVC is chlorinated PVC, which can withstand higher temperature and pressure and can be used for user applications like
Yeah,
hot and
it
cold
is.
water plumbing and sprinkler systems. And UPVC is unpesticide PVC, which is used mostly for cold water applications like drainage systems, agriculture, and irrigation. So, what's the problem statement that we dealt with? So, it's assess the viability of Prime Corporation's entry into the UPVC and CPVC pipes and fitting market, create a branding for them, and distribution strategy to formulate an optimal market entry for successful penetration, sustainable growth, and business profits. So, for that, we consulted all the immediate stakeholders of Prime Corporations like plumbers, retailers, consumers, farmers, contractors, industry experts, and distributors so that we gain multiple insights from them. One of them is the plumbers are the most vital influencers in the entire chain, and the end customers are not brand conscious at all, as one would think. The loyalty points and coupons do act as an incentive for the plumbers, and as well as the entire pipe products, they come under the category of install and forget products. And the finance for heavy orders for the manufacturers is a pain point. Then we dealt with the hypothesis. So in hypothesis, we give the first hypothesis, we need to check whether there is enough opportunity for the prime to capture the market. So for that, we did customer analysis, industry analysis, product analysis, and competitor analysis. In customer analysis, we segmented our customer base and we tried to understand their purchasing behavior and preferences. In industry analysis, we gathered insights on the market size, the growth trends, and the entry barriers. In the product analysis, we try to understand what the value chain and the supply chain of the product is. In the competitor analysis, we analyze the competitors' market share, their offerings. And the other hypothesis is whether Prime can establish a good brand, a distribution, and generate profits from it. For that, we did product strategy, impactful brand strategy, feasibility, financial feasibility, and robust supply chain. And the product strategy, we understood what the current firm's capabilities are and whether do they possess the ability to create a compelling product. In impactful brand strategy, we analyze whether are there current methods to boost the stakeholder demand. In financial feasibility, we try to understand whether in our implementation plan, does that have any financial feasibility or not. And the robust supply chain, we try to create a robust network. So how did we test it? The first one is the industry analysis. The industry seemed to be very hot and robust with a market size of close 22,600 crore. And since Prime is going to be an organized player, the 65 percentage of the current market is dominated by organized player only. And the CAGR also appears to be very healthy with 12.55 percentage. The market outlook is that the unorganized player actually currently do face a lot of challenges because they have limited access to technology and they have inefficient supply chain. And there are multiple government schemes also which are coming like Jal Jeevan Mission, which would definitely receive momentum in the coming years. So we try to delve deeper into the industry through portfolio analysis. So the threat of new entry, we kept it as medium because the capital involved in this industry is high. The supply and bargaining power is kept as low because of many multiple suppliers. And the competitor rivalry also we kept as high because of high existing number of dominant players like Ashirwad, Supreme, Phoenix, Prince. And the bargaining power of the buyers we also have kept as high because of the number of supplies being more. And the threat of substitutes we have kept as low because the GI pipes, steel pipes, substitutes available, they are getting obsolete in the coming in this coming thing. And the CPVC, and we try to understand the CPVC market distribution, where Ashirwad has dominates the CPVC market 20% market share, and Supreme dominates UPVC with a 17% market share.
So the plumbers are the key influencers in the piping and the fitting industry overall. So in the market segmentation are the residential, commercial, agriculture, and the industrial. So the residential and commercial together encompasses between 35 to 40%, and the agriculture between 45 to 50%, and industrial is between 5 to 10%. So in the customer segmentation are the house builders, plumbing contractors, farmers, retailers and wholesalers and households But we will be targeting the plumbers and the contractors, as they are the focal point and they act as the intermediate between the end users and also the manufacturers and the retailers. So as you can see in the product flow network, you can just observe that it's the plumbers who are the decision makers in the piping industry and who get the products from the manufacturer, distributor, retailers, and then cater to the requirements and the needs of the end users. So the customer journey mapping is like done in 5 stages: the awareness, consideration, intent, purchase, and the post purchase stage. And the touch points for the awareness for this in this industry is mainly from the plumbers, or through the ATL, or from social media platforms, or also through the advertisements. And it falls into the consideration category when the product is suggested by the plumber again, or through friends or relatives, or from the retailers, or it could also be by reading the reviews through the social media. And the intent to buy the product comes mainly when it is recommended by the certified plumbers, and also by close relatives and friends, and also in case of agriculture, by farmers who have previously used this particular product. And the purchase here happens by directly a consumer approaching the retail shop, and this is a very small segment, or mostly it is predominantly it's by a plumber going to a retailer shop or a wholesaler to procure this material to satisfy the end customer's need. And the final thing is the post purchase. So here the sole responsibility and the only person who is involved is the plumber. So in terms of the user action, how it actually happens is the plumber understands the needs and the requirements of the end consumer, and then goes to the retailers and the wholesalers, tells the requirement and with the budget, and gets the material and fixes it at the end consumer's end. So it's basically a install and forget product. So in terms of the challenges that the company faces, so there are two challenges at primary focus right now: one involving the branding strategy and the second involving the distribution strategy. There are several other challenges as well, and out of those challenges also, one of the major thing that we feel is that it's the plumber's loyalty. And the plumber's loyalty here is mainly because of two important features, or two important things. One is because the plumber is associated with a particular competing brand for a very long time, and also because a plumber gets a higher incentive or a commission from a particular brand. So though there are like lot of challenges, there is also lot of strength points for Prime Corporation. So one being their shorter lead time for procuring the raw material, and also greater control over quality, since most of the raw materials, most of the products are manufactured in-house. And since they have everything at their end, we also suggest that they do backward integration, which would lower the cost and thereby boosting the commission that we can pass it on to the wholesalers. And then since the production happens in-house, there will be a lot more scope for new experimentation and also opportunities. And above all of these things, since the company has been in existence for close to 5 decades, they have already established a credibility. So one suggestion that we did was we'll be proposing a Prime app for the company. So one feature which we specifically want to focus on to onboard new distributor is to have a leaderboard in the Prime app. So what this leaderboard actually is a ranking board, where the wholesalers will be ranked basis on two important criteria. So one is based on the order quantity, and the second one is on the basis of forecast accuracy. So this feature will be integrated in the Prime app. So the main reason is to increase the brand awareness, and the second one is to drive the demand from the market rather than just having a push strategy. And also effectively utilize the resources, because we have mentioned that we will be focusing on the forecast accuracy also, because of which more in that we can use the resources at present very in an efficient way. And how do we implement it? So as I said, this will be integrated in the app, and this will be region based in order to onboard lot of new distributors, and also to give equal opportunity for people belonging in different regions. And a weightage of 0.6 will be given to the order quantity, and 0.4 for the forecast accuracy. And the accumulation of this, basis on the accumulation of these scores, the sellers will be ranked. So what is in it for distributors? So through our primary research, we identified that it's the extra perk that the plumber, wholesaler, or retailer gets above the selling of a product is what that motivates them. And also getting credit for getting a bulk order is something is a pain point for people in this industry. So we'll be giving them easy credit for future purposes, and also 10x loyalty points, and 2-day fully paid trip to any desired location in India. So what is in it for Prime? It will help us to build a loyal seller base, and also build an extensive good network effect. And since our competitors do not have this feature, this will also give us a first mover advantage. So coming to the branding strategy as such, so the challenges that comes under branding is, so since they are new to the market, their company itself do not have that very much expertise in this field. And also differentiation in the product line is very less here, and to build awareness and also to bring brand loyalty would take a lot of time. So the first thing that we suggest is that the brand should have a logo and a tagline for the plumbers wholesalers to immediately reach their top of their mind as soon as they see the logo or hear the tagline that it is this particular company. And for plumbers specifically, in the app we propose a prime app. So in the app, as and when they make a sale or a purchase, we'll add loyalty points will get added up, and they can redeem it for coupons and other services. And we will also be providing them occasional training and giving them free samples to practice what they have learned. And for distributors and contractors, we are planning to do burst demo to show the functionality of the product, and also give them brochures here and then to make them understand about the different product launches that we are making and to make an informed decision. And for retailers, we'll be collaborating with the social media platform. We'll be working out in all social media platforms, and also collaborating with influencers like Ravi Keval Ramani to promote prime pipes. And billboards in key sanitary markets and highways like Paris Corner in Chennai or Begum Bazaar in Hyderabad will also prove to be very helpful. And just to reach the end customers, we'll be hiring brand ambassadors like Bahubali Prabhas in South markets, as that is our primary target. And we will be working, we will also be collaborating with sports leagues like Pro Kabaddi League, as it's one of the locally played games in South India.
Okay, so moving on to the distribution strategy, uh, we, as can be seen from the state-wise demand expected in FY28, the demand is maximum in rural catchment area, followed by urban and then metro cities. The demand is expected to be high in FY28 in the southern areas of AP, TN, and Telangana states, and West Bengal and Odisha. Prime should go ahead with metro and urban areas mainly to leverage brand ambassador investments and take advantage of high population densities, and serving rural areas initially would lead to higher costs pertaining to lower economies of scale. Why not start with the rural markets despite demand? Again, due to low resources and distribution constraints. Factory decided using the center of gravity analysis for location planning and government infrastructure support and good connectivity. So the primary reason why we chose the location as Sri Harilis Kota in Andhra Pradesh is because it has a government subsidy, and it is also an area which is supported by the Andhra Pradesh Industrial Corporation. And also, as per an industry expert, we came to know that depot should ideally be located at every 500 meters as a thumb rule. Moving on, if we go to the distribution expansion plan, we can know that the how we proceeded with deciding the market share is that we will initially build the company structure and foundation in FY24 by meeting demand using white labeling, and gradually transition to own production facilities from FY25. The target market share of nearly 10% is achievable in FY28 in the 5 markets, as can be seen. And also the challenges faced by the new entrants. So there are some challenges which are faced by the new entrants, and one of them is that implementation challenges in expanding the distribution base. So onboarding and managing distributors is a little tough with the initial limited resources. So initially we'll focus on the cluster markets with concentrated distribution stores, which will later create network effects and attract more distributors, and presence in clusters would also reduce the logistic costs. Moving on. So as can be seen in the financials, uh, planned capex of 400 crore and a targeted aggressive marketing can lead to a 10% market share and revenue of 1400 crore in FY28. So all this data was calculated using the data collected from primary research, secondary research, and also from the data provided by Avalon, and we have a strong backing for these numbers. And in FY24, as can be seen, R&D and certifications were focused upon. In FY25, the South plant go live is scheduled and marketing campaign starts. In FY26, the East plant go live is scheduled and the South plant expansion takes place. In FY27, market expansion fueled by brand pull and the push by Prime will take place. So initially, we are going to expand in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu, as our original factory is located in Andhra Pradesh, and later on we'll expand to West Bengal and Odisha in the later years in order to capture a bit of the demand in that region, and also due to its proximity to Andhra Pradesh. In FY27, market expansion is scheduled. And can you move on to the previous slide, please? And in FY28, reduction in costs and new product development for distribution is planned. The payback period of 5 years is what we have estimated, and
company is bound to become EBITDA positive in the first 3 years. The marketing budget is split such that majority of the budget is reserved for sports ads and trusted brand ambassadors for position Prime as a reliable brand. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah. So this is the timeline of the execution strategy. In FY23, we'll build the foundation via strategy finalizations and the company registration. In FY24, we'll complete the R&D and construct the factory one in Andhra Pradesh. FY25 will be for compliances and certifications and factory one starts operations. FY26 for signing the sponsorship deal with ATK Mohan Bagan and factory 2 in East. FY27 for production expansion and FY28 for achieving a market is our vision is to achieve a market share of 10%. So the emphasis is on expanding product portfolio into water tanks, solvents, and adhesives moving forward, so that we can expand our product portfolio and our value proposition. Thank you so much.
Thank you, team. The floor is now open for questions.
Satish, any questions? Or Anand?
Okay, I was asking a question. I said nice presentation, but in the presentation they mentioned that they have consulted 3 industry experts. I was curious to know what kind of industry experts they are talking about.
Okay, so I'd like to take that question. So we consulted a production engineer from Ashirwad Pipes, a production and planning engineer from Prince Pipes, and the third person was a distributor in the industry who used to operate a depot earlier.
Okay. So what I was looking forward to in this presentation was 2 words, MEP consultants. And are you people aware the role of an MEP consultant? So any building construction or a large complex involves a mechanical, electrical, and plumbing consultant. He's the one who decides what kind of a piping will go into this building, what kind of electrical cable will go into this building, what kind of a pumps will go into this building. And when you talk about the consumption of these pipes, there's a consumption which is aftermarket, which you talked about, but there's a large segment of consumption which goes into the newer construction which is happening all over the country. And that's a much larger, it's not a small segment. And that gets determined by the MEP consultants in different areas, in different places, kind of a thing. So this portion
So sir, actually, so the case has
missed out
specified that we have to
from my
target
perspective.
basically the B2C segment. It was given in the case itself. So we couldn't target the building and construction industry per se. That was the primary reason why we
Okay.
didn't venture into it.
Okay,
The
I
case
stand
mentioned
corrected.
it.
If the case study was only for B2C segment, then I stand corrected. Yeah.
Anand? Any question? Otherwise, we can move on to the next case.
Okay, I think let's move on to the next case. So we have the final presentation of the evening, which is Team Valor from XIMB. They'll be presenting on case 4 again. Please present your screen. I cannot see it.
I hope our screen is visible now.
Yes, it's visible.
Good evening, everyone. We are Team Whaler from XIMB with a solution for Case 4, that is Prime Corporation. Prime Corporation has been a leading chemical manufacturer based out of Andhra Pradesh. It specializes in manufacturing PVC resins. Due to the cyclic nature of bulk chemicals industry and threats from Chinese imports, a transition into the consumer-facing business in the PVC pipes and fittings industry is desirable. So strong established players in this industry having an extensive distribution network with sales force and service support are the roadblocks in this journey. We move on to defining our problem statement clearly, that is, navigating market entry challenges for Prime Corporation to successfully establish itself in the pipes and fittings industry. Here is a quick look at the overall structure of the solution. We start with primary and secondary research, followed by an issue tree and a hypothesis. We came up with a new brand called Advanced Pipes with the essence of peace of mind, followed by a branding strategy and distribution strategy. Here is the market research. Yeah, here is the market research for pipes and fittings industry. The market is growing at a CAGR of 10.8% from FY 2020 to 25. UPVC pipe segment will grow by a CAGR of 9% and CPVC by 17% from FY 22 to 25. Over 70% of demand comes from agriculture and water supply, with brand value driving the buying behavior. East Zone in India has the highest growth potential in this industry. A significant chunk of the industry is unorganized, hence a lucrative opportunity to enter. Moving on, the industry is packed with competitors like Supreme, Finolex, Ashirvad, Princeton, and Astral. We did extensive primary research, interviews of dealers, distributors, and a survey of customers in Tier 1, 2, and 3 cities. It shows that plumbers play a pivotal role in customer buying behavior. After probing more, we found out that 48% of the rural pipes and fittings market is untapped, with over 50% increase in demand in FY 28. And Prime Corporation can definitely capitalize on this opportunity. To resolve the barriers so we pace forward to create an issue tree. And hence, for resolving the barriers for an issue tree, we discovered the hypothesis. As you can see, that Prime Corporation can successfully enter the market if it builds brand strength, it strengthens its distribution channel, and it focuses on product portfolio. Moving on to level two, it can build its brand strength by A, spending on retail marketing, conducting dealer and plumber meets, and creating a strong online presence. It can strengthen its distribution channel by starting penetration in East and South Zone, focusing on 35% of unorganized sector and creating a dealer loyalty program. And it can focus on product portfolio by availability of variety of SKUs for each product segment, focusing on UPVC and emerging as a one-stop solution for all piping needs. Now Debashish will carry forward.
So
Team, we cannot hear you.
So for branding, we started with primary research and personality and perceptual map of competitors. Then we decided on the brand positioning, personality, and brand essence of our brand. The brand name will be Advanced Pipe with the tagline of Sukun Ki Guarantee. The logo, which is a juncture of 4 pipes, forming a symbol of addition, denotes abundance, aligning with advance. The yellow color in the logo denotes the value of your hard-earned money, and the red color denotes power to have peace of mind. For any brand, it is important to have visibility among the target customer groups. To create brand awareness, we have planned different strategies for rural and urban areas. Some common strategies to be followed in both rural and urban areas are advertisement on vernacular TV channels and in both English daily and local newspapers, for which we have roped in state-wise celebrities. For other ways of advertisement are through hoardings in places like highways, bus stand, flyovers, and also sponsoring local tournaments. For urban areas, we are also doing guerrilla marketing by restoring parks, installing benches made up of pipe cutouts. Next, showcasing advanced pipe in exhibitions and trade shows, and we will also doing online marketing and movement marketing in cities for promotion of the brand. Promotional activities like newspaper ads and TV ads do not create much impact in rural areas. For rural market, we will giving live demonstration of pipes live demonstration of pipe strength to create a buzz. Also, we will also doing wall paintings in vernacular language, video shows, and audio jingles to create a buzz among the people. Holding farmer meetings to educate them about the importance of irrigation and periodic market demonstration by installing stalls in melas will help us to interact with the customers. Next, the opinion leaders and influencers, that is the plumbers, play a pivotal role in buying behavior of the customers. So we'll be holding regular meetings with them to promote our brand. Lastly, we have designed a campaign, the Advance India program, which will help to create a loyal plumber for the company. Advance India, which specifically focuses on rural and tier 3 cities of India. Through this program, we intend to train and guide the fresh pass out from high schools and diploma who are unemployed but want to work. We will make them expert in the plumbing domain. Once they acquire the right skill set and start to earn from it, it will build a loyal force for our brand and who will be acting as a promoter for the brand. And this will also improve the employability in rural area. Now, Hamad will carry on with the distribution strategy.
So,
You're not audible.
Hi team, you're not audible.
am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. So now let's talk about the distribution strategy. We understand that for a new brand to be successful, along with effective marketing communication, a simple, innovative, robust, and efficient distribution is also required. The brand should be visible to the customers and at the same time available to them. While we are using two levels of distribution strategy for advanced pipes in urban areas, in rural areas for last mile delivery, and to keep up with the rising demand, we are incorporating sub-stockists and micro retailers. We know a very good part of demand of plastic pipe arises from irrigation requirement. In effort to capitalize on that demand, we propose the use of micro retailers in rural areas at the time of harvest season. Micro retailers is not a permanent channel, but a temporary setup in deep rural areas during harvest season at a time when disposable income of our target customers increases. The main purpose of this is of penetrating and driving demand from such areas. This will help us to be at the doorstep of our direct consumers at a time when needed most. The orders can be fulfilled with nearest retailer or sub-stockist. Moving on the basis of extensive primary and secondary research, tracing the growth of our competitors, we tried to project the number of distributors state-wise that we will be able to onboard with us. We have also identified strategic potential locations in each state, which shall help us in reaching more customers easily, both in urban as well as rural segment. Please note that these locations are for first year of operations and it has to be continuously expanded in subsequent years. So, last slide was the numbers we are going to achieve. Now, let's see how we are going to achieve them. This slide details our plan of onboarding, adopting, and retention of distributors. While our factory is getting ready, our team needs to work on making an exhaustive database of distributors with the details such as their retailer network, their experience, their reputation, and their capacity to expand their network. Later, shortlisting them on the basis of these parameters and especially focusing on the distributors which have a good track record on credit payments and have least possibility of defaulting on payments. We are saying this because to get their warehouse space for a relatively newer brand like us, we have to extend the credit period more than what is given by our competitors. But we also have to be cautious as we don't want our manpower to get busy into recovering the payments. Now, after getting them onboarded, it will be important for us to break the ice and start getting orders from them. For this, we have to resort to the classic sales tactic of pushing our product through them. Our team has to regularly visit those counters, communicate about the benefits of working with us, about the quality of products. We have to communicate the incentives efficiently to them. We also need to offer training sessions in this domain, which will upskill their employees. We also need to focus on merchandising. We have to create an atmosphere where they see pride in wearing our merchandises. This, we believe, coupled with the brand pull, will help us in cracking those accounts. Most important is then to retain the distributors and establishing long-term relationship with them. This will be possible when we solve their long-standing pain points in the industry. One of the main pain point of distributors and retailers is lack of after-sales support from the company. We have to make our after-sales support a competitive advantage for us. In this line, investing and establishing a 24-hour service line with assurance of picking the call within a stipulated time is what can differentiate us from competitors. Another pain point is low incentive. on selling on low incentives on selling, coupled with irregular claim settlements of incentives. More details on this in the next slide. Another point is that we need to create a two-way system for distributors where we as a company also provide them major leads so that they feel that they are our business partners and not only a channel partner for us. This develops a strong loyalty towards the brand. Keeping the trade discount similar to the industry standards, that is around 3.5%, as once hiking the trade margin, we will never be able to roll it back, and if rolled, we might face backlash, and it could lead to a negative impact on our business. We have to provide aggressive and lucrative incentives on selling to the distributors as well as retailers. The incentive schemes, if designed and executed seamlessly, has a huge potential in keeping the channel partners intact with us. For this purpose, we have worked such incentive scheme which not only acts as financial rewards but also develops emotional connect with the company. The pyramid-like incentive structure which you are seeing is made after detailed comparison with the schemes of our competitors. While percent of sales target are at every level, marquee for shops are also at each level, as we want to increase our visibility, and this is a great way for achieving that. On achieving 100% of the sales target, we have designed an incentive scheme for retailers where we will be contributing and renovating their shops. Indian retailers are very positive about their shops, and helping them in improving the looks of the shop is a way in which we can develop a loyal connect with them. Also, for distributors, we have worked out an innovative scheme, May Be Advance, where achieving 100% of target sales, our company is going to sponsor education of one child who is in 10th or lower standards for a complete year. By this, we aim to form a deep, loyal bond with them. A lower or middle class Indian will give a deep spot into his heart to a brand who contributes in their child's education. By our research, it was very evident that plumbers are major influencers in this category. Hence, we have developed two programs to support plumbers and get them into our ecosystem. One is Advance India, which we already spoke about. Another is Jal Sena, in which we intend to create a community of existing plumbers and work for their betterment. In return, we want to be their first recommendation to the customers. To further strengthen the demand, we also can focus on buyer groups. As per our research, buyer groups are used by customers to get good negotiated prices in almost all other items required in building an infra, but is relatively unexplored by our industry and competitors. This will help us to push our product in bulk, become consumers' first choice, and get a first mover advantage. Now, all through the execution of four plans and strategies, there will be certain risks and competitors, for which we have to be on our toes to mitigate. We have broken down our plans into three stages, namely short, medium, and long-term goals. We have identified the risk involved at each stage and the mitigation strategies. In medium term, the competitor might give more lucrative incentives to counter us, but what we identified is along with the lower incentives, long, tardy process of claiming incentives is a major pain point. Hence, if we keep that system seamless and quick, we will easily mitigate that risk. In long term, we might face a stagnant market share, which we have to mitigate by being on our toes with our strategies, by being agile with our methods, and continuously assessing the wants and needs of all the stakeholders and adapting. Finally, this is the fruit of all the hard work and strategies we are putting. On the basis of market research, industry analysis, and impact of our different strategies, we arrived to these figures. We have incorporated all the costs we are going to incur in marketing to customers and pushing through the channels, be it margins, be it incentives or transportation costs. We project that by executing our plan, we will be able to get a market share of 7.53% in this industry, and we will be able to achieve 20.57 kilotons of total sales volume, both UPVC and CPVC included, and EBITDA of 17.56% in fiscal year 28-29. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. We also have, this shows the extent of the primary research we have conducted. This was a comparative benchmarking which we did. This was a proper questionnaire, issue tree, hypothesis, prioritization metrics which we made. We also show how we can enter the market. So what are the frame? We also showed how we developed our brand, how we developed a tagline and the positioning, and we also have showed the product portfolio on which we should focus. And these are the different frameworks. This is a detailed financial plan for us. So this brings to the end of our presentation, and now we are open to the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, team. So the floor is open for questions.
I think it was very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Satish, Mr. Anand, any questions from your side?
No. I think everything was covered.
All right. So that brings us to the close of all the presentations. We'll just take a short break while we compile all the scores from our judges, and then we'll be back. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Satish.
Sridhar, I'll be taking leave.
Yeah, thank you. Just a few words from you, Satish, on your experience and what you found the quality of the students before you leave.
Yeah, I think pretty good quality in many ways. The only thing I felt was if there's an element of actual ground level reality, to some means it becomes much better. Uh, Particularly in the context of the grow case, in relation to your automobile, the app, and the pipes. I think they were reasonably comprehensively dealt with. And particularly the pipe section was dealt by both the team nicely. The first team lost out on the rural side a bit, and that's why they could not come to the same level as the last team came to the bit. But on a yeah, I think overall it was a good set of people who came forward. The confidence level was also pretty good amongst them.
Yeah, and Satish, in case you're interested in interviewing any of them, please let us know.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
We'll be very happy to extend that offer to you. We are anyway giving them a pre-placement interview for all the finalists. and therefore we'll be very happy to extend any that you found worth considering as part of your
Certainly.
strategy
Yeah,
as well.
I'll get back
So,
to you on that.
yeah. Thank you very much for your patience and your time.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Yeah. Um, so I think, I just wanted to address all the students who are still in the platform. I know the finalists are waiting for their for the results while it's being compiled, and I'm sure there are many other students who are supporting you, who are also in the platform. So let me take this opportunity to congratulate all of you. You guys have done an excellent job. Each year we find that the bar is being raised. There are better and better quality of analysis and outputs that we are seeing. It really brings back. There are several of us in Avalon who are also MBA and MBA students, and we have done our MBA many years ago, and it is shocking to see the standards change. I always say that if I were to be part of the process that the current MBA students are going through, I will be nowhere near at this stage that you guys are in your life. We were very much behind in a similar state. So congratulations to all of you for a wonderful performance. While there will be some winners, I think those who have reached this stage, you should really not feel disheartened that you're not among the top three in case you don't make it. You guys have still done a wonderful job, and it's really fantastic that this has reached the stage. As I had said right in the beginning, at Avalon Consulting, we take a lot of pride in this contest. It is not just about the money or the offers we make. It's the fact that we put a lot of effort into this ourselves. There are many organizations which have come to us and told us that they will completely manage this on our behalf, and they will present the cases, they will do the preliminary judging that is needed across the rounds. But for us, it is as much a labor of love. I mean, this is something that we love to present what's happened with our cases, and we love to see the ideas that the generation of students which are coming out like to present. And there have been some very good points raised by all the finalists in these cases. Some of them I can even frankly say that may not have been looked at in its entirety as part of our solutions that we gave to our clients in these particular cases. So it's also a lot of fresh learning for us, and hence the effort that we put in into the Sun Tzu contest. And what I would also request all of you is to propagate this inside your colleges. This is I would frankly say, a very unique platform, and it's something that I hope the next year students who are in your colleges also take the same level of enthusiasm and participate in it in the next year. And I hope as you move on in your life, you will cherish this experience of having presented in this platform, and you take away some key learnings, the feedback from the judges. And of course, if you need any feedback from any of us in Avalon, feel free to reach out to us as well. So thank you once again to all of you, and a big round of applause to all of you for participating.
Thank you for your words, Sridhar. All right. So we've compiled the scores, and we've arrived at the results now. I'll be announcing the second runners up first, which is Team BT from NMIMS. Congratulations, team. Very, very well deserved. Do you have any words to say? You can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, hi.
Okay, if you could talk a little bit about your experience at Sunzu.
So the experience has been very amazing. Like right from the start, where we got rejections from a lot of workshops telling that you go and study, you don't get into all of this, to coming this way, reaching the finals, then performing our best. We felt that we gave our absolute best, and the results show that. So we are absolutely thrilled to see ourselves in the podium. And
Should see
tomorrow,
more broader smiles from you then, if you're happy.
yes.
Okay. Wonderful. This was a tough case, and the way you cogently presented it also was very good. You know, there are various types of scores, and I'm sure you scored very well in your presentation style and the way you handed it off to each other. Very well rehearsed, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So next up is the first runners up, which is Team Valor from XIMB. Congratulations, team.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think all three of you should come in the same screen.
Okay. Yeah.
So it'll be easier to talk. Maybe you should log off, Hamad, and come on to the other one.
Hello, sir.
So Team Valor, how has your experience been for Sunzu?
So, like, first of all, like, this was the first and the only, like, proper management consulting case com that we have done, like, where we have to do, like, proper branding and distribution. And, like, while we started, like, we felt like it is such an uphill task. But as we progressed over the rounds, and, like, with the guidance that we got from the mentors and everything, we, kind of got that confidence that, okay, like, our solution is shaping up, and now we can achieve it, what we wanted to do. So, like, it was literally one of the best experiences that we have.
Exactly. So we have participated in a lot of case competitions, but specifically choosing this case 4, and this case choosing this case has given us a lot of learning about how to establish your brand from scratch, how to establish your distribution network, and while going to the field, we understood about this field a lot more than we could have understood by not participating in this case competition. So, and the amount of support shown by your team, by Avalon team, is immense, and we are thankful to you for this.
Exactly, sir. The other case comes only focuses on only one sector, like operations or marketing. But this is one of the case comes that in which we have to focus both on marketing, operations, and all the sectors. Apart from that, the mentorship program also helped us to give direction to the case, and we have learned a lot from this case. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Wonderful. And again, as I said, your case again stood out. There were some of the judges who felt that your team was the best, but finally we had to uh, compile across all the judges, and I'm sure you had a advantage because Divya did her summers with us, so she knew what it is to present go through a consulting environment. And so congratulations once again for a wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We're looking forward to the opportunity, sir.
Ahead.
from Avalon Consulting. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, team. Now for the winners of Sunzu, it's Team Hit Squad from IIM Mumbai.
So congratulations to all three of you. I mean, clearly you guys stood out. It was a tough case for you to undertake,
Yes.
but you guys have done a wonderful job. So let's see more smiling faces, and please give us your reactions to both the process as well as how you feel now that you've won this competition.
Yeah, absolutely, Sridhar. So it's a very exciting moment for us. So our team, so we have been participating in case competitions for the last 15, 16 months, left, right, center. So we were also participated in some of the bigger case competitions like the ones from GEP Worldwide, and recently we also won the Flipkart case. So the thing is that with this case competition of Sun Tzu, it had the highest level of analysis and the highest level of work which we need to do in this. Comparing to other case competitions, this was a more kind of a marathon. Others were kind of a sprint. So it's easier to win the sprints, and this was more of a marathon. It tested us upon our longevity in the case competition, and we also chose to go with the first case because we felt that it was a very difficult case to crack, because the agri-based business that also waste as a raw material to be procured, which is basically more adding upon difficulties to the case. So we wanted to break this difficult case, and there were a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of midnight turmoil put around into this, and we are really happy and excited and looking forward to the opportunity with Avalon.
Fantastic.
So I'd like to just add on that what skill we learned from this case was the secondary research when the information on internet is very scarce available. So we connected with lot of farmers. We randomly messaged people in LinkedIn who are associated with the paddy straw supply chain to get the ground reality. And it was a one of a learning experience. And one thing I did notice, and I want to congratulate Avalon for that, was the involvement of higher management in this case competition is much higher as compared to other case competition that we see. So kudos to you for such a engaging case competition.
Anything else from your team member?
Yeah, and one more thing is that we would like to thank Ayush. Ayush has been the backbone of this, and he has always kept the team conjoined with all other teams. So thank you, Ayush, for being the organizer and onboarding us in a very smooth manner. Thank you for all the help.
Actually, I would like to thank the entire team of Avalon. It was really once in a lifetime experience. It actually very much helpful in a lot of learnings, lot of insights. We really enjoyed a lot during the past 2.5 months when we get to work in this case.
So once again, thanks a lot for all your efforts, and as you can see, that has finally paid off. Also, you've created a very customized background to your screen, so which also is something unique that you guys have done. So you've made sure that you have gone the extra mile. So wonderful, and you would have also seen that this case also attracted the maximum questions from the judges, and it was a case which was very close to Satish's heart, because he's deeply involved in efforts like this. If you look up, he has businesses which do these. So again, congratulations to all three of you for a wonderful performance and all the effort that you guys have put in. As I said right in the beginning, before the compilation was being done for Avalon, this is a labor of love. This is something that we love putting together. We know that we are taking a lot of effort, and therefore it is justified when we hear reactions from you, and the people who actually persevere through the competition also realize that there is a lot more learning that can come from a competition like this. You truly get exposed to what consulting is like. So we look forward to
Absolutely
interacting more
correct.
with all of you. Sorry, go ahead, Vaishnav.
Yeah, absolutely, Sridhar. So the points which you mentioned are totally correct in this nature, and also the kind of primary research which we had to talking with the farmers and the government officials was something new which we did in this case competition. Whereas other case comps were more focused on secondary research. So this brought us to the ground reality, and we felt that we were doing a real consulting job for the last 2 months.
Excellent. Congratulations once again. Over to Ayush.
All right. So with this, we come to the end of a 6-month exercise for Sun Tzu. The planning phase started back in April. We had innumerable discussions and arguments with the leadership team, including you, Sridhar. So I will just hand it over to you for the final vote of thanks.
I think to everybody inside the Avalon team specifically, um, uh, a great effort once again. Excelled what we did last year. And kudos to all the participants again for having persevered through the process. It's a very tough competition, but I'm sure all of you have benefited. And more important, even to those who did not make it to the podium, all of you did a wonderful job, and you made the judging very difficult for us, for the judges and for everybody involved in the process. Thanks once again for all your efforts.
All right. Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And with this, we conclude the event.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.